Nevada at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The SimRacerHub.com Truck Series brings you its regular season finale here at the ButtKicker 200 tonight. My name's Tyler Dimmer. Joining the booth with me, as always, Will Tiller. Fortunately, no cameras tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Some technical difficulties, but Will, we are looking forward to calling an action-packed 200 miles here tonight as these drivers try and solidify their playoff spots. And there's a couple drivers still fighting for a playoff spot.
Oh man, Tyler, they keep my room ready here on the Las Vegas Strip, ready for some excellent NASRA Series racing here tonight in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Tyler, this is our regular season finale. Here tonight, some drivers can finish their regular seasons off strong, maybe with that regular season championship. Some drivers, we have one spot left, Tyler, heading into tonight here in the beautiful 1.5 mile track with those 20-degree banking in the corners. We look at those point standings now there, Tyler. Everybody seems to be locked in from about 1st to about 16th, 15th. Anybody you see maybe making a run here tonight?
Yeah, I would say before the evening begins, the top 14 drivers in points are locked in. That includes Brian Chu, Tim Hammond, so on and so forth back there. But it's those 15th through 18th drivers there could, in theory, gain or lose spots on points tonight and get their spot into the playoff 16. That being said, there are 4 drivers you don't see on, well, 3 drivers you don't see on that list. You do see Brandon Bullock there, 30 points back. But there are 4 drivers eligible tonight to win and get themselves into the playoffs. Those drivers being Brandon Bullock, Tyler Daniels, Curtis Rogers, and Jason Stevenson. So outside of Ron Hunter and Donnie Lyons, who are trying to point their way in or win and get in, those 4 drivers you have to keep an eye out for, because you could see some very bold strategy from those 4 as they try and race their way in with the victory tonight.
Yeah, it could be a points battle. It could be just a win and you're in situation, Tyler, you're talking about. Another 24, Brendan Broadfoot coming in here tonight. Very excited about tonight's race. Talking about how he cannot miss out on these playoffs here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. The Brendan Broadfoot right there in right now, Tyler. But we'll see how this race plays out here tonight. A beautiful Las Vegas, Tyler. How do these drivers tame this track here tonight?
I think the big thing is saving your right front and right rear tire. These trucks can get a little bit loose, especially with these cooler conditions here early on in turns 3 and 4, especially on the bottom when that banking goes from 20 degrees to about 12 degrees on the front straightaway, and even exiting turn 2 when it goes from 20 degrees to about 9 degrees. The truck can get a little light on the rear, but those right fronts will wear. We've seen tons of great green flag racing action from the 1.5 miles so far this year, including Kansas, Texas, Kentucky, so on and so forth. And we've had many races in our sister series, the Triple M Pulling Truck Series, on Friday night here in Las Vegas. 5 different races in the 6 seasons so far, 7 seasons now, so far in Triple M Pulling Truck Series, with only 4 different winners, 3 of those winners are in the field tonight, and the winner of the other 2 races, well, that would be me sitting up here in the booth with you, Will. So there are about 3 of us on track who can definitely get it done tonight. I think those drivers are ones to watch. That includes Brady LaBeouf, who won here in Season 3, I believe, of the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Stephen Thomas, who won the championship last year in Triple M Pulling Truck Series by winning at Las Vegas in walk-off fashion. And then Adam Newbert, who beat me 2 weeks ago in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series at Las Vegas to get the job done. So those 3 drivers, I think, have to be your ones to watch.
Yeah, definitely. Right now here in this qualifying session, we look at the boss man himself, Brady LaBeouf, in the 9 machine, currently on top of the grid right now with a 30.82. Just early on in this qualifying session here, Tyler, we're going to see the regular names take the course. It's probably a mix of, I want to say, emotion here today. You know, we talked about how the top 15 are locked into the playoff races here going in to next week, and then you have some drivers here tonight probably racing that are out of the playoffs. You have some drivers that want to, lock themselves in. You have some drivers still searching for that first win. So, I think that really, cooks up a crazy recipe for a great regular season finale.
And no doubt, and especially when you come to a track where there's multiple lanes to run. Las Vegas, everyone thinks it's kind of a middle to bottom lane type track. But really, Las Vegas, the best part about it is you can run the top lane, maybe not all the way up to the wall, but you can run higher up. You can run the middle. You can run the bottom even. And you look here on the season, you look at the drivers with most top 5s. The drivers have been more consistent, And no surprise, it's your top two in the point standings, Nathan Maurer and Justin White. And Nathan Maurer, I believe, by starting tonight, should have locked himself in as the regular season champion. He has, I believe, a 20 to 30-point lead over Justin White coming in tonight. But you look throughout the list, I mean, there's been tons of drivers who have had top fives this year, but those top four names are really the ones I think you have to look out for in these playoffs, Will.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, Nathan Maurer came on strong there with those couple wins in a row there in that 971 machine. Some dark horses, though, as well, Tyler. You have to look at some guys that are coming on strong and maybe not racing that full season, maybe lock them down for a full playoff season. Maybe look at the likes of Tim Hammond at 69 machine, some other drivers, maybe Robbie Richards in that 48. Also, Justin White in that, too. Just coming on strong here as of late. A lot of names, I think, once we get into those playoff races, things are going to change a little bit.
Yeah, and with this being the last regular season race of the year, we did want to give our boss man the opportunity to come in and talk about the season. But also, the boss man told me in our little pre-race discussion, he has a bit of an announcement to make. As we know, drivers are beginning to make plans for next season. We may have some silly season breaking news tonight with the boss man himself. So at this point in time, we're going to bring in Brady LaBeouf, the man currently on provisional pole by just 0.3 over Justin White, or 0.03, correction, over Justin White. Brady LaBeouf joining us in the booth. Brady, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Tyler. How about you and Will and Adam?
We're having an absolute blast already
Yes,
up
sir.
here in the booth. Adam Flieger, our producer, getting the great shots as always. And we're just excited to, round out this amazingly awesome regular season we've had so far in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series.
Yeah, sure. And what a better place than to kind of end our 14-week regular season before the playoffs start next week at Las Vegas, Tyler. I know you love this place just as much as I do. So I know that Triple M, the Truck Series on Friday night, ran here about 2 weeks ago. So I know Adam and Robbie and Willie, we got Chris Cinnamon and Stephen Thomas that showed up tonight to run this place. So it's going to be fun, that's for sure.
No doubt, Brady. And you mentioned it. This track obviously produces some of the best racing we've seen in the other series on Friday night, the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Only 4 drivers, though, in the 5 or 6 races we've now run, though, in that series at Las Vegas Motor Speedway have won the race. 3 of them being in the field tonight. Of course, the 4th being myself up here in the booth. So it's a little bit difficult for me seeing these drivers race at a track I love so much, and I feel like I can win any night out. But watching, the likes of you, Stephen Thomas, who's won, Adam Newbert, who won 2 weeks ago, like you said, it definitely excites me. And then you see Chris Cinnamon, a driver who's always been faster, just hasn't been able to break through with the win. I think the folks at home are going to be in store for an absolute screamer of a race.
Absolutely. And Vegas will always have a special place in my heart. This is where I got my first NASRA win. Really enjoyed it. I beat Robbie Richards by about a core length coming back on a green-white checkered. So I'll never forget that win. And, just like the regular season's coming to an end, we start talking about season 2. We're really excited. Plenty of drivers already signing up. We're going to knock out these 7 weeks of playoffs, take a week off, and then we'll kick off the speed weeks for season 2. And just like in NASCAR, Tyler, we have silly season just like them. And I definitely would like to announce my season 2 lineup for Mission 1 Esports. It'll be myself, Kyle Hess will be back with us, Tim Hammond, Sean Hamilton, and Zach Hartwick's going to be joining us for season 2.
And that's some huge news, Brady, as we see, considering that I believe 4 of the 6, maybe even 5 of the 6, I'm not sure exactly where Zach Hartwick is in stands, or if he ran full-time this year or not, can't remember off the top of my head. But obviously Hamilton and Hammond, both playoff drivers right now this season. Yourself, Brady, with a win on the season. Kyle Hess, also a playoff driver, still looking to break through and get a win here. And I feel like we're starting to see maybe some super teams forming here in the Monday night series. Rumor has it that Justin White will be leaving Mission 1 and going to, I believe, Brute Force Motorsports, run by Robbie Richards, for next season.
Yeah, that's correct. We kind of all started scrambling around last week. We talked about going because a lot of people wanted to run with their friends, which, I mean, hey, we're going to have fun, run with your friends and whatnot. So we decided as a league that we'd go from 4 full-time drivers to 5 full-time drivers. So that kind of like changed up. A lot of people were scrambling around to get that extra fifth driver. I got Zach to come on board today, just this afternoon, to seal our lineup to make our team complete for season 2. So we enjoyed having Justin this season. But I mean, I know him and Nate and Robbie's good buddy, so they all wanted to run together. So I had to, Jason's going to form his own team. So we lost a couple of guys, but we're going to gain some great guys with Sean, Tim, and Zach coming on board running with us next season.
Of course, and it does sound like we're seeing maybe the likes of a Hendrick JGR, Roger Penske type rivalry between obviously Brute Force Mission 1, but also you can't forget about the drivers at Sick With It Motorsports, Justin Lumpkin, Adam Newbert, obviously Stephen Thomas is affiliated with that organization as well, all very, very strong drivers. Is this kind of, we're seeing maybe a changeover in the history of NASCAR? We saw the super team of Upfront Motorsports in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series last season, but now are we starting to see maybe a couple of super teams starting to form across our multiple series here? And you have to look out for obviously the smaller teams, the guys with solid drivers who can get those underdog wins.
Oh, absolutely. Swim's always going to be up there. Warriors making a run, and you're starting to see a mix of drivers between them. You got some new teams, kind of like the Trackhouse version. Highline Racing's been developed by Jason Morales, and he's got some guys coming on board to run with him. And you can never count out, Hunter Performance Motorsports, guys like Steve Bornett and Kerry Tribute. I mean, it's only a matter of time before Kerry goes to victory lane here with us. But just him, Steve, and Ron, all those guys, they'll find 2 more guys to make themselves a strong team as well.
Well, I would say good luck at the race, but we're just going to drag you back in here for your pole sitter interview. You are the pole dog tonight, Brady. What is it going to take to hold the lead here at the front? We saw, certain drivers be able to make moves early on the Triple M Pulling Truck Series race here 2 weeks ago, but then the tires kind of start to wear. It becomes harder to make passes. It seemed that the first 2 stages were dominated by the driver who made the pass in the first 5 laps of each stage and then just controlled the rest of the stage. Is that what you're going to look to do here tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to run it pretty hard. I'm not going to lie, this first stage, because I know Triple M, they ran in the afternoon, and we're going to be running at night, so the track's going to be a lot different. Track temp's going to be different, whatnot. So I want to run it pretty hard just to kind of see what my tire wear is this first run, and then I'll go from there, Tyler.
Well, we've had you here for quite a while, but we will let you get going back to your team as you make your final adjustments pre-race. But again, appreciate you taking in time, giving us that silly season breakthrough, Brady. Best of luck tonight, and best of luck in the playoffs moving forward.
Yeah, thank you. And you and Will have fun tonight.
Oh, we most definitely will. That was Brady LaBeouf, the boss man, leader of Mission 1 Esports, announcing some big news there, Will, for next season. But that is not what's important. Tonight is what is important in the final race of the regular season.
Oh, yes, sir, indeed. Great information about Season 2 right there. And I like, Tyler, you're going to add a little bit of a French, swirl to the boss man's last name there. But now as the pace truck's going to pull us off the front stretch here, we now have the starting lineup for the last race here in the regular season, the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Take it away, Tyler.
Yep, sitting in row number 1, Brady LaBeouf, and your second place regular season finisher, Justin White. Row number 2 has Chris Cinnamon coming in for another part-time appearance with your regular season champion who's outside. That's Nathan Maurer. Row 3 is Justin Lumpkin, Adam Newbert. That's the swim teammate sitting there. Adam Newbert's been on a hot streak. He's won $424 in the last few weeks here in NASCAR across multiple series with multiple wins. Row number 4 has Robbie Richards, owner of that Brute Force Motorsports team, and Jason Morales, who says any beef with Kerry Tribute after last week's wreck late at Gateway is completely squashed and done. Round number 5, driver trying to make the playoffs. That's Ron Hunter. And Kyle Hess looking for his first win on the season as we go to row number 6 with Will Tiller.
Yeah, and then we look at Ron Hunter right there in that 30 machine. Tyler Daniels in that 95 will start at 11th. James Morris start 12th. Dan Hagen, that 39 machine has to. Doors probably closed for that 39, but he's going to roll off 13th here tonight. Zach Hardwick in that 6, rolling off 14th. Kerry Tribute in that 7, rolling off 15th. Charles Keller Jr. rolling off 16th. Jason Stevenson, that 93, 17th. Brian Chu in that 51, 18th. Chris Blanchard rolling off here in 19th. And Tim Hammond in that 69 will be our top 20.
And the green flag flies. Brady LaBeouf leads the field in the ButtKicker 200 here at Las Vegas. Through the tri-oval. No one getting a big jump here. Chris Cinnamon's going to dive to the inside of Justin White. Take over that second position. Meanwhile, looking back, Justin Lumpkin trying to take over the third spot. Drivers 2 by 2 from third on back. As you see the field scatter down the back straightaway. Brady LaBeouf leads him towards turn 3. Chris Cinnamon did not have the finish he wanted. Necessarily in the Triple M Point Truck Series race here 2 weeks ago. He had a second place. He gets really loose there, though, in 3 and 4. He's going to slide up the track. He's going to follow Brady LaBeouf now. It looks like Justin Lumpkin's looking to take over that second spot as we complete lap 1 of 135 here tonight, Will.
Yeah, Brady LaBeouf leads the first lap here in Viva Las Vegas. He takes us down into 1 and 2 right now. Justin Lumpkin, Chris Cinnamon here battling for a second. Look further down the grid right now. Nathan Maurer under fire on the 971. As we go down to quarter number 3 right now, Brady LaBeouf still leading the way around 3 and 4.
Yeah, the first big side-by-side battles for second. That's Chris Cinnamon and Justin Lumpkin. Those two drivers very familiar with each other. Give the spot to Lumpkin here as we get single file now through the tri-oval. It's important to note, Brady LaBeouf said it in his pre-race interview, we're racing at night, unlike Triple M, which race here in the daytime. These trucks seem significantly looser early on with these really cold tires and cold track temps. Hopefully the trucks will settle in later in the run, Will.
Yeah, single file right now down to corner number 3. You don't see much movement for position except further down the grid right now. It looks like our first battle for position on the track right now down the front stretch looks like to be about the 9th or 10th right now, Tyler. As our leader still Brady LaBeouf in that 9 takes us down to 1.
Yeah, single file the first 5. Lumpkin's going to peek to the outside, but that's going to let Chris Cinnamon down there on the bottom in the bumps at Las Vegas. He's going to get a little tight. White's going to get to his back bumper. We may have 3 wide here for second here shortly. Nope, White's going to stay tucked in line. That's going to allow Lumpkin to clear Cinnamon, but he does not take the option. Cinnamon dives back to the bottom through 3 and 4.
Chris Cinnamon now diving to the 18 right now. Justin Lumpkin trying to keep that momentum going here in these trucks. Justin Lumpkin, I think, Tyler, here coming on strong here. The later parts of the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. That 18, though, to the top side of the 3 around the corner.
I think you're going to see that top groove come in a little bit more. Maybe not necessarily the top, but that middle to high groove here as the run wears on. Stages tonight are 35 and then lap 75 before the final 60 laps here for 135 laps at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. In the ButtKicker 200, Wells that coming off of turn 4, first battle for position looks to be Nathan Maurer and Adam Newbert side by side for the 5th spot.
Yeah, you see right now, Nathan Maurer, Adam Newbert. You just talked about how much money that Ford machine has pocketed just now in the month of February. There's just a couple more days left here in this month. Tyler to keep that winning streak going right now. I'm trying to stay inside the top 5.
Battle for the lead, heating up. Cinnamon dives to the inside of Brady LaBeouf here in 3 and 4, 2 by 2 throughout. Can Cinnamon hook the bottom? It looks like he might be able to clear Brady out the corner. No, can't get it done. He's going to wiggle, may have caused Brady to lift. They're going to drag race down the front straightaway. Chris Cinnamon leads that lap. First lap not led by Brady LaBeouf here is lap number 6.
Chris Cinnamon right now still battling with Brady LaBeouf. We got those graphics now on the screen here in the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. Our wonderful producer, Adam Flieger, providing all these wonderful shots, including this shot of Brady LaBeouf in the 9 going to the inside of the 3, around 3 and 4 right now. Brady LaBeouf with a huge run off the corner of 4 down the front stretch.
Yeah, I was talking with the Sick With It Motorsports team here in pre-race tonight, and Adam Newbert said the difference between running here in the afternoon like they did 2 weeks ago and running here in the evening/night is you're going to see these trucks stay packed up a lot more, and honestly, that is holding very true so far. You see 2 and 3 wide racing throughout the field, a big pack all the way. It looks to be, I want to say that's Curtis Rogers hanging off the back. Otherwise, though, great racing action throughout, lots of side-by-side battles, and drivers are having their pick of lane. Brady LaBeouf still leads the way. Justin White coming back to the inside of Chris Cinnamon here.
Yeah, everything battling right now. We see a lot of moving parts right now on the grid. The 2 of Justin White on the inside lane right now with Chris Cinnamon on the 3 machine. Now this is a battle for second side by side around the corner. Justin Lumpkin right there in 3rd in that 18 machine. Down the backstretch, down into 3. Brady LaBeouf still leading the way since the drop of the green flag tower. 9 laps in, around 3 and 4 right now. Brady LaBeouf seems to be pretty strong here tonight down the front stretch.
Yeah, and the battle to keep your eye out on is between Ron Hunter and Brandon Broadfoot. Right now, there's a 13-point gap before we started the race. Currently, though, Ron Hunter sitting in 10th. Brandon Broadfoot all the way back in 21st. So Brandon Broadfoot may have to get a move on here. It doesn't want Ron Hunter to score too many stage points tonight. or this could be quite a tight points battle late on. But Ron Hunter has a rear view mirror full of Kyle S., Kerry Tribute, and James Morris right now. And also the biggest mover, that's Steve Barnett. He's up 7 spots since the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, Tyler, that 30 machine of Ron Hunter, we're riding on board with him right now here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. I feel as of late, I think it's dawned on Ron that it's time to go. It's time to get the wheels moving underneath that 30 machine. I think the results here the past couple races have been a lot better than what that 30 machine started out like here. But it has to do very well here tonight. Essentially, it has to win tonight, Tyler, to get that 30 machine in, or possibly finish inside the top 3. For the 30, though, here tonight, just going to make sure you finish this race.
Yeah, that's got to be the main goal early on here with Ron Hunter. Meanwhile, the driver directly ahead of him, that's the 95, I believe, of Tyler Daniels. He is in a win-and-in situation. Finishing the race doesn't matter. He has to win. Ron Hunter could point his way in tonight, but he doesn't have to win the race. Tyler Daniels, though, has to win if he wants to make the top 16, if you like that 95. BP Racing for Autism machine there. Right ahead of him is Robbie Richards with Nathan Maurer, your regular season champion, all kind of sitting in a pack as they watch Brady LaBeouf and Chris Cinnamon battle out at the front of the pack. Oh, and look who's there, Mr. Adam Newbert, finding his way towards the front here early on. He's on the outside of Justin White as they go around through the trial of enter 1 and 2.
Yeah, you just said it there, Tyler. Essentially, the 971 Nathan Maurer essentially is our regular season champion here in the regular season finale race. Something miraculous could happen. The 971 could have a very bad race here tonight. Somebody else could win. Who knows? The 971, though, has had an incredible regular season. As we come around the corner right now, Brady LaBeouf still leading the way. Still Chris Cinnamon battling with that 9. Nobody else in the mix, though, at the lead. Across the line here, lot 14.
Something must have happened to Ron Hunter. He just went from 12th to 25th. A big moment there. I'll have to figure out if I can find out what exactly happened in that 30 machine. But back out front, Brady LaBeouf, Chris Cinnamon. I'm interested to see that Brady LaBeouf's giving Chris Cinnamon that outside lane, allowing Cinnamon to make big runs down these straightaways. I think as you get further and further in this run, that outside line will prevail. If I'm Brady LaBeouf, I am not letting a truck get to my outside.
No, quite a frantic pace right now to start off the ButtKicker 200 here. Brady LaBeouf and that 9 machine. Chris Cinnamon in that 3 make it 15 laps right now. Down to corner number 1, still side by side for the lead here, Tyler. These drivers know whether you're locked into these playoff races or battling for that last playoff spot. Every race means a lot here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. These drivers are racing for cash money as they're still side by side, almost touching doors into 3.
See, Chris Cinnamon did this a lot 2 weeks ago in this Triple Round Pulling Truck Series, but then he started to miss his entry on 3 and 4 in Stage 1, tore up that right front tire, and eventually fell later on throughout the stage. Although with these cooler track conditions, I think he should be able to hold his position a little bit better if he misses the corner a few times. Meanwhile, it's important to keep note all these drivers, especially those running in the season-long points like Adam Newbert, like Brady LaBeouf, like Justin Lumpkin, like Justin White. They're all trying to get a playoff point, a point that helps them next week when we start the round of 16 in the playoffs. That's an additional point they can carry into that first round, give them a little bit of a cushion, so in case they have a bad race. Obviously, the first round, 3 races long, will provide tons of great racing action.
Oh, yeah, for sure here. 17 laps in here. Brady LaBeouf still leading the way. Chris Cinnamon right behind him down the backstretch. No change at the top of the grid so far in stage number 1. No, here goes Chris Cinnamon to the inside right now of Brady LaBeouf and that 9 machine. We've seen this over and over again, though, Tyler. Each and every lap, the 9 and the 3 just keep going at it. We watch another battle, though, further back from the lead here as the 9 will clear the 3 going down to corner number 1. Looks like a battle for the 4th positions raging on as well behind those leaders. A lot of things shaking and dicing here. 18 laps in off of 2.
Seems like the mid-pack got broken up after maybe an incident early on. Charles Keller Jr., Raul Meza having some issues at that point in time. They've slid back with Ron Hunter in the field, so the field's kind of getting spaced out. Meanwhile, back up from Brady LaBeouf starting to open up a little bit of a gap on the lead there. You see Cinnamon and Lumpkin battling side by side. As you see Newbert there and White battling side by side for the 4th position. But up ahead, they're watching 2 more drivers go at each other, and that's exactly what Brady LaBeouf wants to see. He wants to see drivers side by side and pull away. I think you're going to see that racing hard start to take effect on Chris Cinnamon's right front, and maybe even Brady LaBeouf's right front. I might think Justin Lumpkin has the fastest truck currently on track.
You see those drivers mixing it up here. 19 laps into this race. We'll race it down to lap 35 here in stage number 1 here, Tyler. But I think everything here in the regular season finale boils down to that last playoff position. We look at those drivers there at the tail end of that playoff table. Brian Broadfoot in that 24 machine right now in the 22nd position. We've got Ron Hunter in that 30. You just spoke about it. Down 15 spots from the drop of the green flag in the 24th position. We also look at the likes of Cody Knott at 26 and down in the 21st position. A lot of these drivers here tonight, Tyler, need all the help they can get to make sure they make those playoffs.
Yeah, but right now the good thing for Cody Knott and Brandon Broadfoot is that Ron Hunter's behind them. So those two drivers, obviously, maybe not having the runs they want at this point. But as long as Ron Hunter's behind them on track, it doesn't really matter where they finish, as long as they stay ahead of him. And for Cody Knott's case, it's a pretty significant gap. 22 points is quite a lot. 13 points even is quite a lot for Brandon Broadfoot, but it's still a lot closer than Broadfoot or Hunter would like entering this final race.
Oh, yeah, still a lot on the line here tonight. Right now, we watch Cody Knott in that 26 machine, a wonderful producer here at the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. That 26 machine, I'd say he's just had the worst luck possible here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series there, Tyler. Every week that 26 machine tries to make the race. Every week that 26 machine always seems to run into bad luck through those races right now as we watch Justin White in that 2 machine. Another battle right now rages on between Jason Morales in that 5 and Kerry Tribune in that 7 here tonight. Kerry Tribune trying to get back into victory lane in that 7.
That's funny. Jason Morales reached out to me before and said him and Kerry had kind of settled the differences they had at Gateway, realizing maybe it was just some tight, hard racing there at the end of that race when they both got involved in that late race incident. Jason Morales obviously coming on very strong here in the last several weeks. He's been running more up front, more consistently in the top 10. We've seen him in the last 4 to 5 weeks. Just hasn't had necessarily the best finish he wants, but still working his way towards the front. So definitely good seeing Morales. I think, as he put it to me, becoming more comfortable racing around these guys and being more willing to make bigger moves. So Jason Morales definitely having a bigger turnaround this season.
Yeah, you definitely need to make those moves, Tyler. We talk about those Cardi B money moves, if you will, every week here in the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. Stage 1, you'll see these drivers get comfortable, although here tonight, here in beautiful Las Vegas, these drivers keep battling for the lead. And then you'll start to see things turn up, if you will. Those pit strategies will come into play. The racing will turn up. The competitiveness will turn up as well in the late stages of these races every week here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Tyler, I expect the same thing here tonight with a lot on the line.
No doubt, entirely. And you kind of starting to see the pack has broken up, at least the front 10 or so drivers throughout all single file. Looking at Chris Cinnamon and Adam Newbert, they're battling for that 3rd position. Justin White a little bit behind them in 5th. And you have Kerry Tribune, Nathan Maurer, and going back. And there's your first big racing action. It's still Morales and not Kerry Tribune. I believe that's Robbie Richards to his inside. So you have those two drivers battling side by side. Then you go back to Tim Hammond, the last driver inside the top 10, inside those stage points positions. So we have 10 laps to go in the stage, Will.
10 laps to go right now. Single file around beautiful Las Vegas down to corner number 3. Still Brady LaBeouf leading the way. Just been leading the way since the drop of the green flag. We look at here the tail end of these packs. We look at Tim Hammond in that 69 machine. Tim Hammond, I would say, to spotlight another driver there, Tyler, a driver that's been, I would say, locked into those playoff races, has been on the bubble every week, if you will. Came on very strong in the regular season, missed a few races there in the stretch. Makes it in on points. What do you expect from that 69 in the playoffs?
He's got to do something different. I don't know necessarily what it is. He's been very solid. You know, he has 5 top 10s, but he only has 3 top 5s. He needs to figure out a way to finish off these races. You see him run inside the top 10 consistently, but he'll sometimes lose spots here late in races. Sometimes not of his own fault, getting caught up in a wreck or so on and so forth, but sometimes just not being aggressive enough later in these races, making moves that he needs to move, or making moves that he has had the opportunity to make. So I think Tim Hammond's got to definitely amp it up a little bit here in the next 3 weeks as we go to the first round, because right now he'd just be barely inside if we were looking at the playoff bracket.
Yeah, and you see him right now, Tim Hammond at 69 machine now mixing it up with the rest of the big dogs, if you will. Kerry Tribune in the 7, Nathan Maurer in the 9, 71, that 69 machine here creeping up here on lap 29. We have just about 6 laps to go here in stage number 1. Boy, this race is flying by already, Tyler, as the 48 of Robbie Richards is battling out with Carrie Tribune in the 7, down to 3.
Yeah, that's Carrie Tribune. He's up 10 spots since the drop of the green. Tim Hammond also up 10. Carrie Tribune just losing a spot to Robbie Richards. He'll drop to 9 spots gain. But also other big movers you have to look out for. Stephen Thomas plus 9. Sean Hamilton recently announced going to Mission 1 Esports with Tim Hammond next season. He's up 9 spots as well. Steve Barnett's up 7. Raul Meza's up 6 from the drop of the green flag. And then your biggest losers on the night so far. Zach Hartwick also just announced to Mission 1. He's down 7 spots. Ron Hunter's down 15 spots. So drivers who maybe needed these better runs, especially Ron Hunter, not having the run they need early on here tonight.
Definitely not. That 30 machine, we had spotlighted him, maybe put a little bit of that commentator's curse on him here as we dig down in the corner. 30 machine I talked about here starting to build up a little bit more momentum. Results were starting to show a little bit better. 30 here tonight early on in this race. Still a long way to go though, Tyler. Not really running where he needs to be.
No, and I think he realizes that, but he still has tons of time as multiple drivers getting shaken up here in the order. Nope.
Truck's wrecking down the backstretch. Caution now.
I was looking at the live SDK scoring, and I saw a lot of shuffling. I was wondering if drivers were spinning or not. Drivers going into the wall. That's Stephen Thomas with some left front. But there's some angry drivers right now over the voice chat between Stephen Thomas and Steve Barnett.
You see right here, Morales. You see the 47. You see Thomas in that 23. Barnett in that 42. It looks like we'll have to rewind it just a little bit there, Tyler. It looks like things may have got a little dicey ahead of these two guys that were getting mad at each other there. You see the 5 right there, Morales.
It looks like Morales got into James Moore.
Yeah.
Set off this whole chain of events. We can get it rolling again here, producer. Maybe get some chase on Steve Barnett.
Yeah, right there. That's a good shot.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Steve Barnett not happy. Steve Barnett not happy at all with the arguments being had. But yeah, you'll get a great view here, Will.
You see the 47 right there on that middle lane. Gonna go to the high side of the 5 right here around the corner. Looks like the 5's just gonna make contact. It looks like the 5's gonna get loose by himself. And then briefly touch that fender of the 47. The 47 is going to start to slide. That's just going to set off a chain of events right there as the 47 is going to save it. But as these guys are saving it, things are unfolding behind them there, Tyler. As the 23 is going to get involved there with the 42 and the 5 right there. Looks like they come down on the 23 right there as they enter the backstretch.
Yeah, 42 did make some contact there with the 23. You see some damage on the right rear of that 23. It has been official, though. Race Control did call the stage there. Brady LaBeouf will be your Stage 1 winner. Brady LaBeouf also won your race off pit road, so we'll have to talk with him here shortly. But you'll see, Morales hits the bumps, maybe a little bit of echo, but still, he definitely would have came up into Morris.
Yeah, and you think the craziest thing about this, it brings out essentially our first caution, and then I hear to end Stage 1. Morris right there is not going to have anything wrong with that truck, just going to get a little sideways there, maybe lose a position or two. Really, the trucks that are going to be the most affected by this is going to be the 5 of Morales right there, 42 of Barnett, or the 23 of Thomas, looks like Barnett's not going to get much from that. 23 of Thomas and the 5 Morales are really going to be the two trucks that are going to have that damage on there. And if you've been watching with us here all season, no fast repairs here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series.
Yeah, and that's the way stage. If you win stage number 1, pretty much control most of that stage. Some interesting racing back and forth with Chris Cinnamon and Justin Lumpkin there throughout. You did what you had to do to ensure the stage win. Obviously, the stage caution comes a little bit early there, but what do you have to do here to make the same thing happen in stage 2?
Do the same thing I did in stage 1, I guess, Tyler. Right now, I'm saving fuel because I know it's going to be close. We're going to run looks like an extra 3 to 4 laps further than we would normally scheduled for. But it was the right call, with 3 laps. But we'll see how the track changes right here. As the night comes a little bit further into the night, I guess you can say. We'll see what the track does, but I like what I saw there.
And you have to like so far early on what's happening, although you see drivers who maybe didn't have the qualifying efforts they wanted. You see Adam Newbert there right now, currently in the second position. Drivers you expected to see in this race. Has there been any surprises for you up front so far? And do you look at how this race may play out in the final stage with maybe potentially green flag stops?
I really don't know where Nate's at. He would be a surprise that I don't see in the top 7 right now, but pretty much the guys that I figured I'd be racing for the win or in the top 7 that I can see, and it doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, Bray, we definitely have talked with you a bunch tonight. Hopefully, we'll be able to talk with you even more throughout. Best of luck here in stage number 2 and rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you, Tyler. I appreciate it.
Thank you for taking the time. Well, you see, Brady seems pretty comfortable, pretty confident right now.
Pretty comfortable, pretty confident there at the top of the grid. You saw those battles there with Chris Cinnamon there in stage number 1 here on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. But looking at those lap times, though, there, Tyler, not the fastest truck out there. His best lap time there in stage 1 was a 30.89. Looking at other drivers that were a lot faster, you know, you got a 30.70 on the track. That's Kerry Tribune in that 7, up 10 spots in the drop of the green flag. You look around just a little bit more, you got a 30.75 out of the likes of Justin White in that 2. So let's see how things here shape up in stage number 2.
Yeah, fastest lap right now belonging to Steve Barnett with a 30.69 so far, but Steve Barnett all the way back in 21st position. Interesting to see. It looks like James D. Morris just came off of pit road, but currently no drivers a lap down. Everyone has gotten back on the racing surface. We're about to go back green flag here. Drivers coming off for Bray LaBeouf will lead the field this time from the outside lane. Adam Newbert next to him, and then row 2 is Chris Cinnamon, Justin Lumpkin with row 3, Kerry Tribune, and Robbie Richards. Bray LaBeouf gets on the gas, gets a good restart. Inside lane, stacks up. Green flag is out here. Steve Barnett stacks up majorly. You see throughout the field kind of an accordion effect there, Will.
Yeah, right now everything getting very dicey here, if you will. In Vegas, things are shaking up here in the top 5. Right now, Bray LaBeouf will take us off the corner. Down the backstretch, you see moving parts right there for 3rd. Christenman to the inside of the 18. Justin Lumpkin down into 3 and 4. Right now, the pace here in stage number 2 is already crazy here after 4. Caution's out, caution's out.
Uncertain what the wreck was that time by, but maybe Tyler Daniels. Yeah, Daniel Broadfoot has come into pit road. Broadfoot may have had to tow. That may be a huge change in the effect of this race.
Oh my goodness here, folks. If you're tuning in here just now to this broadcast, oh no!
That's Ron Hunter. Tyler Daniels out. Those drivers are both down pit road. Brandon Broadfoot, I think, also involved.
No.
We'll get Brandon Broadfoot's camera, maybe. Oh, yeah, he's the one who may have started. Oh, nope. Zach Hartwick and Tyler Daniels making contact. So the 2 drivers on the bubble out of this race early on. And I think with that, we'll lock Brandon Broadfoot into the playoffs.
We'll have to see right now here. Brandon Bradford in that 24 machine is going to make contact with a 94. We're watching this replay here live on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. 24 machine, see Daniels right there, of course, is going to be out of this race here tonight, but all eyes on the 24 machine there, Tyler. As you said, mathematically, that's going to lock Brandon Bradford into those playoff races.
Especially with Ron Hunter getting involved, I believe that does officially lock in Brandon Broadfoot. We may have to talk with one of those drivers here and see exactly what happened. We like they're at the field. Some pit strategy occurring right now. We had multiple drivers coming down pit road during this caution flag, including Jason Morales, Brian Chu, Steve Barnett, Chris Blanchard, Stephen Thomas, and more.
Well, Tyler, if you want to be the man that gets one of those drivers on the radio to talk with them, you be my guest there. I don't think any of those drivers there are going to be very happy campers the way this race looks to have ended early for them here in stage number 2. The ButtKicker 200 here, the regular season finale of the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. These bubble drivers, if you
Definitely not. We'll have to see. Maybe we can get one of these drivers to talk with us, but We may give him a little bit of time to cool off here. You see Ron Hunter's there on pit road. Brandon Broadfoot's on pit road. Jason Morales getting some damage, it seems. He's now a lap down, so that's a huge issue for Morales. Oh, I'm not necessarily sure what he got caught up in. Nope, he's not a lap down. He should be on the lead lap just barely. Hopefully he'll get back out in time, but definitely some things have been shaken up here early on in stage 2, Will.
Yeah, we got about a lap around there in stage number 2. Things started to unravel here. That's exactly the pace that I was describing there during stage 1 here. SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. That's how these races have panned out here, Tyler, all season long. You see in stage 1, very calm, cool, and collected. Most cases, the pole sitter wins that stage. Great stage points collected there by Brady LaBeouf. Then you see here in stage number 2, a lot more battles there. One lap into that stage, Tyler. It's already crazy here in Vegas.
Yeah, and I think you're going to start seeing drivers gambling on strategy at this point. We've reached that time.
Ooh, that's a good one, Tyler. That's a good one.
I say we are in Vegas. It's time to gamble, especially if you're one of those drivers who still could get in with a win tonight. That would be Curtis Rogers and Jason Stevenson. Both of those drivers still can get in with a win. Brandon Bullock as well, correction. But now with Brandon Broadfoot and Ron Hunter, Donnie Lyons did not make a start tonight, so he will be out of playoff contention. Obviously, Tyler Daniels wrecked. He needed a win tonight. That is for certainly done as well. So we'll be interested to see how things are shaping up here.
Yeah, that's just... It's going to be a discussion, Tyler. I know there's going to be a lot of discussion at the end of this race. Still a lot more racing to go here, though, at Las Vegas. Things aren't... not yet locked up. So a lot more battles here to see here on the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, Tyler. And one thing I want to ask you here is now we see the pace lights are off of the pace truck. One thing we would love to talk about here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network is strategy. Drivers here tonight will have 4 sets of tires. What do you think that strategy is going to be like?
Well, with the way we kind of see tire fall off here at Las Vegas, especially with those bumps in 1 and 2, I think you're going to see drivers take a set of tires at 2 stage breaks. But there on out, their third set of tires has to be used in that third stage around whenever they decide to take their pit stop, unless we get a late caution and someone makes a gamble. Because tires do matter here at Las Vegas. It's a decent 2-second drop-off used versus new tires. So I think you're going to see kind of a consistent strategy throughout, tires at the end of each stage, and then using their 4th set of tires in the middle of that 3rd and final stage, Will.
Yeah, right now here as we have Brady LaBeouf to the top side, Adam Newbert there in the Ford machine to the low side here. As we come off of corner number 4, the pace truck will pull off. We'll go green flag racing here once again in stage number 2. The ButtKicker 200 regular season finale of the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series is once again under green as the boss man, Brady LaBeouf, takes the green flag down to 1.
Better restart there for Adam Newbert. He should slot into 2nd as they enter 1 and 2. Chris Cinnamon getting a decent jump. He'll slot up into 3rd. Justin Lumpkin falls to 4th. Single file, first 8 trucks. First battle for position. That's Kyle Hess and Tim Hammond back there in 8th.
Single file right now down the backstretch. We got a great shot of the action here. Adam Flieger once again doing his thing in the NASRA 360 Racing Network booth here tonight as we're watching Brady LaBeouf go around 3 and 4, still leading the way here tonight as we come off the corner here on lap 41. Make it 42 into 1.
Late block by Brady LaBeouf, and Adam Newbert hits his bumper. Contact made between the 2 leaders. They keep it straight. That's going to allow Chris Cinnamon to get to the outside of Adam Newbert here. Battling there for the 2nd position. Can Cinnamon get the run off the corner he needs? No, Newbert cuts him off. Crossover move made. Looks like a truck may have bounced off the wall, but right now we stay green.
Yeah, if we could ride on board the back bumper of that 9 machine, we could get a front row point of view of all the battles ensuing behind that 9. That 9 loves to see it, though. Tyler, go ahead and battle it out for 2nd and 3rd. We watch right now with that 9 machine, Brady LaBeouf. We see now the 4 machine, Adam Newbert's trying to the top side. This is the shot he sees in his rear view mirror. Tyler, oh my goodness, coming off of 2. Look at everything he has to deal with here tonight.
Yeah, Adam Newbert's going to get the run to his outside here in 3 and 4. Can he make the move? Yet to be seen. Right now, Brady LaBeouf can clear him off of 4, but just barely. He's got to shut the door. No, he takes too long to do it. Adam Newbert to the outside here through the tri-oval. Brady leads that lap, but for how much longer?
The money man himself, Adam Newbert, in that 4 machine is trying to be like Little Wayne and make it rain here tonight. Now in the second position, coming off a 2, right on the back bumper, Brady LaBeouf, the 9 in the 4. The 9 was battling out with the 3. Now has to put up with the 4 here in this run. Adam Newbert right there on the top side has Justin Lumpkin behind him in the 18 right now as we come off a 4. Brady LaBeouf, the leader momentarily.
Brady LaBeouf's still the leader. You have to stick with the teammates sitting second and third. You'd assume they would work together here through the tri-oval. Can't really push too much, but that's going to give Adam Newbert enough momentum entering 1 and 2. They'll stay side by side. Brady LaBeouf can't get him clear off the corner. They're going to drag race down the back straightaway. Adam Newbert pokes ahead just slightly as they enter 3 and 4. Can Brady LaBeouf battle back on the inside? He's going to make a move and try to get it to stick. Can't get it done. He looks to be clear here off of 4. Tries to make the pass. He can't get it clear. Adam Newbert gets back to his outside in the tri-oval.
Right now, as we dig down into corner number 1, Tyler, I had to check my notes just to make sure stage number 2 ends on lap 75, folks. We're on lap 46. These drivers are battling it out like it's the last lap of the stage. Justin Lumpkin now to the inside of the 9 here down the backstretch right now. Adam Newbert's going to follow right there, going to stick that 4. Sick with it Motorsports machine right on the back of the 18. That's going to shove the 18 to the inside of the 9. We'll have a new race leader off of 4.
18 was clear. He could have made a move up, but he decides to stay on the bottom. Brady LaBeouf will stay to his outside here in 1 and 2 this time by. Can Brady LaBeouf make it work on the outside? No, sir. Right now, he cannot. Chris Cinnamon trying to make a move work on the outside of Adam Newbert through 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Brady LaBeouf's going to get in line behind that race leader of Justin Lumpkin. He's going to make a move to the inside here in 3 and 4.
Justin Lumpkin now battling out with the 9 machine. Brady LaBeouf has got his spot back there. Now the 18 Justin Lumpkin now going to do a little Allen Iverson crossover move to the inside. We'll do across that start-finish line, make it lap 49 as this battle will ensue down to corner number 1.
I want to point out something that just happened there. Brady LaBeouf led that lap. May not have been by a lot, but he did lead that lap. And that may be important to note later on in the race. That crossover move can get you the lead at the line. Maybe not much beyond it, but it can get you the lead when it matters if it's the last lap of the race. Maybe you have to see a driver if they can pull that off later on tonight.
Right now, our race leader, Justin Lumpkin, in the 18 machine, puts another lap in the books as we go down to corner number 1. Brady LaBeouf in that 9 machine is going to follow him right there. You see Chris Cinnamon in that 3, now back in the mix in that 3 position. Justin White in that 2. A lot of movement right now. Down the back stretch as we enter corner number 3.
Chris Cinnamon had a little bit of issues. The 4th and 5th place drivers backing off him a little bit there. It's like those issues have to resolve themselves. Meanwhile, Big Pack Racing is 4th on back. Includes the like of Justin White, Adam Newbert, Carriage Review, Nathan Maurer, and Robbie Richards, with more company behind them, Tim Hammond and Kyle Hess. Meanwhile, back out front, Brady LaBeouf looking to the inside of Justin Lumpkin here in 1 and 2.
Yeah, right now, Brady LaBeouf trying to sweep the stages here on lap 50. Big battles, though, off the corner. Got the 2 of Justin White battling out with Adam Newbert right there in the 4. This looks like to be about for the 4th position right there. 3rd position, excuse me, right there. We also look at the battle of Carriage View in the 7. Also, Robbie Richards in that 48 machine. Now, this is for the 4th position for top 5 spots right there. Everything's so mixed up on the track here tonight. The Las Vegas lights are starting to get to me here tonight in the regular season finale. As now Carriage Review that 7 now trying to go to the high side of Justin White off of 2.
Yeah, Brady LaBeouf got the lead back from Justin Lumpkin that last time by on the back straightaway with a great move off 1 and 2. Down towards 3 and 4 was well clear throughout the corners. You see Justin White getting clear of Robbie Richards here through 3 and 4. Make it single file now for your first, I believe, 7 trucks. First battle, Nathan Maurer, Tim Hammond for the 8th position. Further on back, though, you have Sean Hamilton speaking. He's currently in 11th, and Charles Keller behind him. They're in 12th. Well, they're trying to make a move inside the top 10 and collect some stage points tonight to improve their final standing.
Now here, Tyler, as we watch this battle come off at corner number 2, see Justin White in that 2 machine still under fire from the 48 of Robbie Richards, who's holding down the top side lane as we enter into 3 and 4. Do you think any drivers here in this run here on lap 52 may be conserving a little bit of those tires to make a run at the end of the stage?
They can't afford to conserve the tires too much just because of you would lose so much of a gap there. These drivers obviously trying their hardest to make it work. Chris Simmons still experiencing some technical difficulties. Otherwise, though, you're going to see these drivers give it their all while they can because track position matters so much. The dirty air plays a huge factor, Will, in how you race here.
It definitely does here as we watch right now the 971 and Nathan Maurer now trying to creep into the mix here. Talked about our points leader heading into tonight. Had an excellent regular season there, Tyler. 3 wins in a row. Just kept that going with top 5s. A lot of great finishes on the 971. I would have to say, though, Tyler, as of late, maybe has simmered down just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe a concern of his having peaked too early. Obviously, still collecting top 5s and top 10s. He's 7 top 5s, 9 top 10s on the season. But those 3 wins came around the turn of the year. He had the win at Darlington still back in 2022. Then he went on and won Kentucky, and I believe he won New Hampshire. Not New Hampshire. Maybe it was New Hampshire as well. So you see Nathan Maurer, though, those were all wins back in early January, late December. Haven't really seen the same speed out of Nathan Maurer since then. Definitely still a top 10 driver, but maybe not battling for those wins as consistently. Tonight, though, maybe he's just kind of riding around realizing he has that regular season championship in the bag.
Yeah, indeed, for that 971 here tonight. But you just touched on it there tonight, Tyler. Maybe regrouping the 971 going into those playoff races, knowing you're looking back at those races, maybe reviewing what the 971 did good in those races, maybe taking some notes, heading into those playoffs, making sure everything goes correctly. Right now here on lap 56 of the ButtKicker 200, our leader on the racetrack, still Bray LaBeouf down into 3 and 4. Justin Lumpkin right there on the 18. Now we're starting to see the 3 of Chris Cinnamon slide up to that top side as we make it lap 57 down to 1.
Yeah, still 19 now laps to go in the stage. And we talked about, getting a reset for some of these playoff drivers like Bray LaBeouf, like Justin Lumpkin, like Adam Newbert, so on and so forth. Starting next week, round of 16 begins. 3 races. We go short track racing at Richmond. Then we go to the big 2-mile oval for probably one of the last few times you'll ever see it at Auto Club. And then, where we go after, Atlanta first, and then Auto Club. Auto Club rounds out your top 16 round. We have Atlanta Motor Speedway, the Super Speedway edition of the track, so the new configuration. So 3 very different types of racing coming up, Will.
Oh, yeah, I'm very excited for those playoff races coming up. But one thing I have an eye on right here as we go down the backstretch, we talk about playoff races, playoff drivers, playoff spots. One driver that you said has a chance here tonight, the 17 of Brandon Bullock, right now here in the 20th position in the points table, has raced the minimum amount of races here this season. Currently is in the 14th position, up 13 spots since the drop of the green flag. If the 17 wins, does he get in?
Brandon Bullock would get in with a win, yes. And I believe him and then Curtis Rogers as well. He has hit the minimum number of starts by 1. So if you look at Curtis Rogers in that 95 and Brandon Bullock, or 95, Curtis Rogers, or not 95, 65. Correction. Yes, thank you. I was like, I know there's a 5 at the end. Curtis Rogers and Brandon Bullock can both win and get in the playoffs tonight. Meanwhile, Jason Stevenson, also the 93, would be another one of those drivers. He's run enough races. He's currently sitting 16th position. Brandon Bullock currently sitting 14th position. So those 3 drivers could play a strategy call, gamble a lot here tonight, Will, win and make the playoffs.
A lot to be seen here as we count down the laps here in stage number 2, lap 61. Right now, we're going to run it down to lap 75. So we're looking at around 15 laps to go here in stage number 2. Still being led by the boss man himself, Bray LaBeouf in that 9 here, Tyler. In this second stage, doesn't seem to be letting up at all. We have some other drivers moving up the grid, though. Justin Lumpkin in that 18, we've seen the run out of him here tonight. Now we see the 2 battling with the 7 of Kerry Tribute. This is a battle for the 6th position on the racetrack right now. Kerry Tribute up 10 spots from the drop of the green flag. Again, this is a battle for the 6th and 7th. We look at pass right there in the 971. See, that's Nathan Maurer right there in the 8th. Tim Hammond in 9th, and Kyle Hess rounds out our top 10.
Yeah, as you see, one driver coming down pit road, that's Stephen Thomas. I'm interested to see exactly why he is pitting. Is it for a strategy call? Did he have an engine expire? Did he just not have enough fuel to make it to the end here? yet to be seen, because if that's the case, we may have a very interesting stage number 3 or stage number 2 here on our hands. But nope, it looks like Stephen Thomas, not necessarily a fuel concern, just maybe the truck finally gave way. He had some damage earlier on, so looks like his engine may have expired finally.
Yeah, as we watch right now here on lap 63, we were talking about that strategy here to start off this broadcast, Tyler. Now you see the 7 right on the back bumper of the 2. This is a big battle right now. As you see Nathan Maurer, the 971 here down to corner number 3. Tim Ham is going to watch this battle from afar. A lot of big names up in that mix. You have Kyle Hess in the 86. Nathan Maurer, the 971, Kerry Chabu in that 7, Justin White. This is all a battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th right now here on lap 64.
Yeah, Sean Hamilton getting by Tim Hammond for the final spot inside the top 10. That's battle for stage points right now. Seeing Tim Hammond struggle a little bit. Charles Keller now trying to get by him. See a battle there for 3rd. That's Robbie Richards and Adam Newberg, 2 drivers who know how to win on these intermediate tracks. Obviously, Robbie Richards had won earlier this season at Homestead Miami Speedway. The King of Florida winning at Daytona and Homestead Miami. And then you have Adam Newberg here winning multiple races so far this season, but especially as it pertains to winning at Las Vegas in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Adam Newberg right now under fire from that 48 machine there, Robbie Richards right there. 48, I would have to say, one of those trucks to watch out for those playoff races there, Tyler. A lot of tracks coming up that will favor that 48. We'll also have some road courses in the mix as well. Watch out for that here tonight. But here we have to end out the regular season here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. The ButtKicker 200. Who will win here at Vegas right now is Raul Meza in that 37 machine. Now trying to advance position to creep up inside that top 10. The top 10 bookended right now by the 89 of Hamilton.
Yeah, and you see those front 2 drivers of Brady LaBeouf and Justin Lumpkin have pulled away considerably from the 3rd and 4th place drivers of Adam Newberg and Robbie Richards. So just how the race has kind of settled out. And maybe a 2-truck battle tonight for the win if we have a green flag run throughout stage number 3, but still so far good racing throughout. Justin Lumpkin, I think he realized after he tried to make a move to end of stage 2 in the last race here at Vegas, he ran the Triple M Point Truck Series, ended up overdriving the corner, hitting the outside wall off of 4 on the final lap, trying to win the 2nd stage. I think you're going to see him take a more patient approach here, realizing there's a bigger prize at the end of the race.
Yeah, as Brady LaBeouf takes us off for corner number 4 right now, going to make a lap 68 right now. I think we'll see who's left at the end of all this shaking out we're going to see here. Of course, here at the end of stage number 2, I see these drivers heading down pit road. And then, of course, in that last run, we'll have to see if they'll have to head down pit road again. We always see a wave, a shakeout, if you will, of the grid. Is it going to be this 9 of Brady LaBeouf, who takes us around 3 and 4 right now as our race leader, or the 18 of Justin Lumpkin, or will we see some of these drivers that are racing inside the top 10 be in the mix at the end right now? But it looks like Brady LaBeouf is trying to sweep the stages here in Vegas down to corner number 1.
That may be a bad omen, though. Last driver to win both the 1st and 2nd stage here at Las Vegas, Triple M Pulling Truck Series 2 weeks ago, that driver would be me. Did not pay out for me in the end. Adam Newberg ended up winning that race. So maybe Brady LaBeouf putting himself in a bad position that he doesn't even realize yet.
Yeah, Tyler, and that was my bad. When I brought you up in the booth, I had asked you about that. I thought you had won the race, because I think you had won about every statistical category in that race, just not the checkered flag. And that's my fault there, Tyler. Here as we jump back to the action on the track. The 18 of Justin Lumpkin still pretty solid in that 2nd spot. Chris Cinnamon, though, right there in the 3 machines, been very strong here in the first half of this race. You watch another battle right there. That's the 48 of Robbie Richards trying to battle it out right there. I believe that's the 4 of Adam Newberg. Here right now, Tyler, the 4 of Adam Newberg just playing it coy inside that top 10.
Yeah, Adam's run the race he needs to run so far. Same with Justin, same with Brady's. Brady's starting to open up a bit of a gap here on Justin Lumpkin as we have 5 laps to go in stage number 2. That gap kind of getting spaced out, but I'm really hoping we see some drivers of the likes of Brandon Bullock, Jason Stevenson, and Curtis Rogers taking really big gambles here in the 3rd and final stage. They have nothing to lose, in my opinion, going for it with some crazy strategy call in order to try and win this race, because You aren't going to win at this point if you follow the exact same strategy Brady LaBeouf does. In my opinion, Will, if you follow the leader, that's what you're going to continue to do. Follow him.
Yeah, if you're locked in, I think that goes for a lot of the drivers here tonight right now on lap 72, the ButtKicker 200. A lot of these drivers are locked in. This could be looked at as a more of an just a relaxing race, if you will, a little bit of track time here at Vegas. You're locked in. The worries of having to win a race or get into those playoff races are off your shoulders. You've done everything you've had to do during that regular season. It's been a grueling regular season for some of these drivers. You're into the money, they sort of say. Every race we do give out money here, but now you're in the money races and those playoff races. But here tonight, still a lot to be said with 3 laps to go here in stage number 2.
3 laps to go. Pit road should be closed this time by when Brady LaBeouf crosses the stripe, giving it 2 laps to go on the stage. Chris Cinnamon has pit strategy call here by the number 3. Coming down pit road before pit road is closed. We'll see if he can get his pit stop done and not get lapped, but it looks like he will go a lap down. A bold strategy there by Chris Cinnamon. He must not have had enough fuel to make it to the end.
Yeah, very bold strategy indeed for that 3 machine here, as we only have about 2 laps to go here in stage number 2. I spoke about how that 3 was having a great run here tonight. But Tyler, this could be it could be filed in that category of gambling, if you will, here tonight.
The problem is with the stage ending here in just about 2 laps, Cinnamon is going to get the wave around, which are the lucky free pass position. He'll be the first truck 1 lap down. The problem is he has to start at the tail of the longest line. So after all these guys pit and get fuel, which they'll have 2 more laps of fuel, 2 lap fresher tires, etc., he'll be still at the tail end of the pack. So it's kind of it must have been he did not have enough fuel to the end. Otherwise, the strategy call doesn't really make much sense.
Doesn't make much sense, but right now what does make a lot of sense is that 9 machine showing us a lot of speed as we come off of 4. It looks like he's going to go ahead and win stage number 2 here tonight. Brady LaBeouf, the boss man, in that 9 machine, putting on a show here tonight in the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah, Brady LaBeouf sweeps your stages tonight, and we will go to a quick commercial break and be back talking with your stage 2 winner when we return. Back live here in the ButtKicker 200, and right now Brady LaBeouf still your race leader after pit stops have been complete. Robbie Richards will come out second. Big moves made on pit road by Richards. Adam Newberg drops to 3rd. Lumpkin 4th. Nate Maurer will be 5th. Justin White will sit 6th. Sean Hamilton 7th. Kyle Hess 8th. Kerry Tribune 9th. And Tim Hammond rounding out your top 10, as some drivers still remain on pit road for service, including Jason Morales and Steve Barnett.
Yeah, right now, Tyler, here as we're still under caution as we just concluded stage number 2 here in the ButtKicker 200. We always take this opportunity to speak with a driver that's in the mix. We've already spoken to Brady a few times here tonight, being the pole sitter and a stage winner. I think here tonight, we were just speaking about it off air, driver that might have mathematically locked himself in would be Cody Naughton at 26. I believe you're catching up with him now about his take on tonight's race.
Yep, Cody Knott, Tyler Dittmer up here in the NASCAR 360 Racing booth. You got me?
Come on, guys. Yes, I do.
Yeah, well, with that incident and with the amount of laps down officially that Brandon Broadfoot and Ron Hunter being in their positions, you have officially locked yourself into the playoffs. Being clear on the points you are, there is absolutely no way in God's green earth can you miss the playoffs now. That has to be a good feeling for you.
Oh yeah, I just knew I had to come in here being only 9 points above with that drop race on Broadfoot. I just had to come in here and race clean and stay out of trouble, and hopefully those two got in trouble. So now I just interested to see who comes out on top between him and Ron Hunter, because they can get their damage fixed and come back out here.
Yeah, we were just talking about it off air. It would take a lot of drivers to wreck out and for Ron Hunter to get back and Broadfoot not in order for Hunter to make it in. But there are a few drivers out here who could play Cinderella tonight, and that includes Brandon Bullock, Curtis Rogers, and Jason Stevenson. They could win and clinch that 16th spot.
Yeah, well, I hope that would be awesome if Brandon won, being a teammate of mine. So just going to run the rest of the race, see where we can finish. Hopefully we can finish up in the top 10. It's been the goal. I ran pretty good here when we raced here on Friday a few weeks ago.
Yeah, well, Cody, we'll let you get back to it, but we appreciate you spending some time. Again, I want to congratulate you on making it officially into the postseason.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
And that was the interview with the driver of, I believe it's Cody Knott's team, Warrior Racing Esport, the team leader he is. So, well, you can tell definitely relieved now that he is locked into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's why I thought it would be an interesting interview here in the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. Of course, Brady LaBeouf is showing what he can do inside the truck here tonight. The Run with the 9 machine has had this regular season. Of course, it's the regular stuff out of that driver here tonight. But I also wanted to hear from a driver that maybe just barely make it into the playoffs or sneaking in those last tail end of those spots. You know, you just spoke about it, Tyler. It takes a little stress off you here tonight. It's a long way to go in this race. Possibly could put that truck in victory lane. Who knows what could shake out here in the late stages. But now you can race the rest of this race, a little bit of relief, but maybe even planning now for next week.
Yeah, again, next week we head to Richmond Motor Speedway, the 3/4 mile short track there in my home state of Virginia. And definitely a different style of racing than we've had the last few weeks. A true short track in both how it drives, but also in how much you're going to use that middle pedal, that brake pedal next week. So that should lead to some interesting racing, Will, as we're about to go back green flag racing.
Yeah, right now as that pace truck takes us off of corner number 4, you see Robbie Richards in the 48, Brady LaBeouf in the 9. Let's get the last bit of racing done here tonight in the regular season finale. Green flag is in the air. Brady LaBeouf in the 9 takes us down to 1.
Brady LaBeouf will lead the field in stage number 3 tonight. Robbie Richards did not get the jump he wanted. Adam Newbert all over the back bumper of that 48 machine. Brady LaBeouf. This is going to be interesting for him. He's led comfortably most of the race. He's been challenged at different times, but he hasn't had this long of a green flag run. If we get all 60 plus laps in on this run, or 50 plus laps in on this run now with the caution period being over. So should be interesting to see how these drivers handle it and if they have enough fuel to potentially maybe save gas and make it to the end, or how pit stop strategies are going to play off.
Yeah, I just talked about it there in stage number 2 about how these strategies will begin to pay off here in the late stages of this run. You know, we have 20 extra laps to close out the race here tonight, Tyler, so watch out for these drivers to make those green flag pit stops. Watch out for the caution flag to fly as well. We haven't seen Barney grab his handy-dandy set of flags just yet here tonight as we're watching some battles brew here further down the grid.
Yeah, you see a lot of battles there. That's with Adam Newbert there on the screen. That's Nathan Maurer, that 971 machine. Behind him, you have Kyle Hess, Kerry Tribute, and Tim Hammond battling for positions just inside the top 10. There's Robbie Richards and Adam Newbert battling right behind the leader, Brady LaBeouf, here off of turn 2, side by side as they enter turns 3 and 4.
Adam Newbert to the inside of the 48, down into 3 and 4 right now. That's sick with motorsports, man. Driver has been sick with it here tonight and all season long in the month of February. I've been saying here tonight and that on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, the money man. That Ford Machine's trying to put a little bit more money inside of his pocket here as we dig down in the corner of the Ford Machine trying to get around a man who has been comfortable inside the penthouse. Tyler on top of the grid, down the backstretch, Bray LaBeouf in the 9.
Yeah, he's been paid out $424 here in the month of February. He's looking to add a little bit more before we turn into March next week. Later on this week, actually, Will. As February, we only have 2 more days in this month, and then we're heading on towards March as we continue our march through the postseason here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. But Adam Newbert going to try to make his move around Bray LaBeouf again, this time from the high side. Couldn't get it done in Stage 2. Hoping to get it done here in Stage 3. Goes back to the bottom here off 2.
Yeah, as we watch that battle for the lead, there's even more battles here on this excellent shot of the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. But this battle now side by side down to 3 and 4. Adam Newbert in the 4. Bray LaBeouf in the 9 right now here. Low side, high side off of 4 right now. Still battling out here. Adam Newbert, our new race leader, across the line down to corner number 1.
Clear of Bray LaBeouf, and Robbie Richards now trying to make a move by Bray LaBeouf. This is the first bit of real adversity we've had seen Bray LaBeouf face here tonight as the dominant truck. Will we see him fall further back? Nope, it looks like he'll settle there into the second position. Robbie Richards getting loose off of 2. They'll go single file the front 2, but battle for third will rage on between Robbie Richards and Justin Lumpkin. Richards seeming to have a little bit of trouble handling with his truck right now, getting a little bit loose.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see that here in the late stages of this race. These trucks are going to start to get away from these drivers, so to say, going to start to calculate those pit strategies. Tyler, you said, though, we're on the Las Vegas Strip. The amount of times I've visited Las Vegas here in Nazareth, I think my pockets are a little bit empty. Gone a little crazy on the tables. And Brandon Bradford in that 24 machine now back out on the track here. A little bit of an issue here down the backstretch down to 3 at 24 machine. We were talking about one of the bubble drivers here tonight.
Yeah, he's going to have significant amounts of damage. He's going to be well at the pace, but guess who just followed him off of pit road? That's right, Ron Hunter, also out of the pit road now. So those 2 drivers will just be kind of just relaxing around the track, trying to stay out of the leader's way, but they'll be significantly off the pace the rest of the night. Meanwhile, battle back up front, Tim Hammond jumped inside the top 5 for the first time tonight. He's looking to make some moves here, trying to get around Robbie Richards for that 4th position.
Yeah, you see Tim Hammond, that 69 machine I spoke about to start off this race here tonight. The 69 locked into the playoffs, but what are we going to see from this 69 going into the playoffs now? Is the focus going to be there? Is he going to be ready to rock and roll here tonight? He is doing exactly that. Now to the outside of the 48 off of corner number 2. Down the backstretch, the 69 machine wants to put that 69 in victory lane. Now putting that nose to the inside of the 18 down to 3.
Yeah, as you see the battle raging on here inside the top 10. That's 69 machine looking to get by. Justin Lumpkin here in the 18, sick with a motorsport entry. Tim Hammond will become teammates next year with the driver in 2nd position as we look towards next season here in just about 8 to 9 weeks' time. But for now, they're still competitors trying to fight for playoff points here and a win tonight. Bray LaBeouf back down to the inside of Adam Newbert here on the back straightaway, trying to make a move. Make Tim Hammond to the inside of Justin Lumpkin. He's got Robbie Richards looking to the inside of him. Almost 3 wide for second.
Tim Hammond, that 69. Big battle up here at the top of the grid. Bray LaBeouf now under fire. Not something he was used to here tonight. The 69 machine of Tim Hammond to the inside right there now of Justin Lumpkin in the 18. He's been very comfortable inside the top 3 here tonight. Now the 69 machine has taken the top 3 away from Justin Lumpkin. 69 machine of Tim Hammond, a man on a mission here tonight, up to 3rd as we dig down to 3.
Bray LaBeouf, meanwhile, to the outside of Adam Newbert for the lead here in 3 and 4. He had a great run through 1 and 2. Adam Newbert hit the bumps just wrong. Not allowed Bray LaBeouf to get a massive run through 1 and 2, but not as great of a run off of 3 and 4. Bray LaBeouf now trying to make a pass here. That time by, give the lead to Adam Newbert. This time, though, Brady LaBeouf to the outside here, 1 and 2, trying to make a move here.
Newbert got loose, though, on the entry of that corner. Going to give Brady LaBeouf just a little extra speed there on the top side. Tim Hammond right there in the 3rd position. The 69 machine will catch the draft off the 9 down the backstretch. Down to corner number 3. The 4 senses that goes up the track just a little bit. A little bit of a wiggle out of the 4 machine down to 3 and 4 right now. Side by side. Battle for 2nd right now. The 4 will get the run off the corner, though. Hold on the 2nd right now. Brady LaBeouf, our new race leader, crossing the line. The 9 machine will take us down to 1. Lap 93. Our race race leader, but the battles ensue.
Big move there between the front three. That's going to let Tim Hammond maybe get to the outside of Adam Newberg here. Yes, he does down the back straightaway. He'll tuck in line with Brady LaBeouf, try to get a big run through 3 and 4 this time by. Brady LaBeouf will run the middle lane. Tim Hammond to the top side. Adam Newberg to the bottom. He'll drift up through the middle of the corner.
As now the 48 looks now to the inside of the 69, trying to take that podium position away right now. He's going to cross this line, make it 94 into corner number 1. Brady LaBeouf, that 9 machine, the boss man here at Nazareth, now taking us around 1 and 2. Adam Newbert second, Robbie Richards third for the time being. The 69 now, Tim Hammond going to go to the outside of the 48 off of 2, going to take that third place position away. As now Ron Hunter, a lapped car comes into the mix here, a lap truck if you will. Ron Hunter, we talked about one of those bubble drivers coming in here tonight, not going to have the run he wanted out of the 30 machine. As we're going to cross the line, make it lap 50 down to 1.
Yeah, and with being well less than 50 laps to go, now at 46 laps to go this time, Ron Hunter has officially been eliminated from postseason contention. The only driver now remaining in postseason contention, Brandon Broadfoot, currently in the 16th position. He can only be knocked out if Brandon Bullock, Curtis Rogers, or Jason Stevenson bring home the win tonight.
Yeah, right now as we look down that grid, Jason Stevenson, the 93 machine's in 15th. Brandon Bullock in the 17 machine is in 14th here. Cody Naughton, that 26 locked in 13th. Brian Chu in that 51 and 12th. Rylan Meza, 37 machine, having a good run here tonight. Overshadowed by all the other drama of the regular season finale, Tyler. We love to talk about here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Whether it's you up here in the booth, whether it's Wesley Outland, whoever is up here with me, or if it's other broadcasters, the 37 machine, I think we all cheer him on week after week. The 37 now having a quiet run just outside the top 10.
Raul Meza doing what he needs to do. Already locked into the postseason, sitting currently 9th in points, but once playoff points and wins are determined to reseed these drivers, he'll probably be around 10th or 11th. Car in the wall, it's Tim Hammond! It's collected, and more.
Oh my goodness gracious, I thought the 69 machine of Tim Hammond was starting to slide down the grid. I wouldn't expected what we just saw here on lap 97. Huge wreck down the backstretch. We were talking about the misfortunes of the 37 of Raul Meza. How about the misfortunes of the 69 of Tim Hammond there? We were just talking about him battling for the race lead there, Tyler. Now it looks as though he might have to retire here tonight.
Yeah, we talked about that too, also with the 69 of Tim Hammond. You know, he has runs, he's near the front, but then he gets caught in something, whether it's his own fault or not, hits the wall, and then takes himself out of contention. You saw him up there in the top 5, battling with the leaders, battling with first and second. So
no caution though.
No caution. No truck went around, just trucks into the wall. Nathan Maurer also coming down pit road, your regular season champion. He has significant damage as well. So both of those two drivers are going to probably end their competitive nights. So that'll leave us, I believe, 17 or 18 drivers on the lead lap once everything cycles through here. Still have green flag pit stops to come, though, Will.
Green flag pit stops indeed still in play here tonight as we're going to make it the century mark across the line here tonight in Viva Las Vegas. We got Dell having the residency out here on the Vegas Strip. Teller, I got to say, one of my favorite shows here this week. Love to see it here tonight, but now we see the 17 machine of Brandon Bullock down pit road here. Going to go ahead and get that green flag pit stop out of the way. Maybe one of those big-time gambles we were talking about out of the 17 has to win to make it into those playoff races next week.
Yeah, he's the first driver to come in on a strategy call, I would say, Brandon Bullock, a 14-second stop. Looks like Tim Hammond got about 39 seconds of repairs done. Nathan Maurer still on pit road trying to get more repairs done for himself. Curtis Rogers also has come in. He will be getting another pit stop. This would also be a strategy call for Curtis Rogers. These two drivers trying to win and get themselves into the playoffs, taking early pit stops here. Also, Chris Cinnamon has already pitted. He pitted on lap 93, so that was an early strategy call for the Cinnamon truck number 3. He pitted, I think, as soon as he saw his window open. So we're going to see some strategy calls here soon.
Yeah, definitely. Right now here on lap 102, we're looking at just around 34 laps to go here tonight, as now the battle still ensue at the top of the grid. But Tyler, I talked about it here early on in tonight's broadcast, how that reshuffle will happen. Which drivers will flush out? Which drivers will still be at the top of the grid? Which drivers will have to put that work in, so to say, up the grid to complete tonight's race? Will it still be the 9 of Brady LaBeouf here leading the way? Very fantastic and clean race here tonight out of the 9. Can the boss man get it done? A lot of speed behind him here on lap 103. We'll see how this race plays out.
Yeah, these drivers still continuing throughout here. Another strategy called Dan Hayden, that 39 machine. He's in. He is not eligible for the playoffs, despite however he may finish tonight with a win or not. So he's come down pit road. Back out front, though, still Brady LaBeouf, Adam Newbert, Robbie Richards, Justin Lumpkin, and I believe Carriage to be rounding out your top 5. And then a surprise 6th place position right now. Charles Keller leads a group of about 6 trucks. That includes Kyle Hess, Raul Meza, Justin White, and Brian Chu. So those 5 trucks also in a group of themselves. So kind of an interesting mix of drivers right now.
Yeah. It's right now as Justin White's going to make contact with the 37 machine of Raul Meza off the corner right now. This is a battle to stay inside the top 10. This is for 8th and 9th right there as Raul Meza now inside the top 10, up 18 spots from the drop of the green flag. You talked about the 99, though, Charles Keller Jr., right? We see that battle with the 86 right in front of these drivers here. Charles here tonight, Tyler, of course, not going to be in those playoff races next week. Even with the win here tonight, not going to be in those playoff races based on the minimum amount of races needed to be in. Though the 99 here tonight didn't get the message, running inside the top 10, almost inside the top 5. So my hat's off to the 99 here tonight, getting it all.
Yeah, the 99 has kind of started to come into his own in the last few weeks. You know, maybe not getting the top 5 finishes he deserves, but starting to get more top 10, starting to see him run a little bit higher up in that mid-pack group from about 11th to 16th. So Charles Keller Jr. really starting to perform, starting to come into his own. I think he's just getting more comfortable racing around these guys, and it's always good to see drivers improving and working their way to the front. As the battle for the lead starting to rage on a little bit more. Adam Newbert looking to the outside of Brady LaBeouf here. Battle for the lead. He can't get the job done. Meanwhile, Robbie Richards will slide in behind him. Those front 3 in a line. As you see Charles Keller racing Kyle Hess there, but now we're looking back throughout the field. And there again, Charles Keller, Kyle Hess, they're going to get single file here, so everything should get kind of organized. No battles currently on track, I believe. And no drivers currently on pit road. Correction, Chris Blanchard just came down pit road this time.
Yeah, Chris Blanchard down pit road there in that 14 machine. On lap 107, we now watch Jason Morales in that 5, Kyle Hess in that 86 machine. Terry Tribune with a good run here tonight, up 11 spots from the drop of the green flag up to 5th. Justin Lumpkin in that 18 machine. I talked about it here tonight, Tyler, starting to get hot when it matters. The 18's up to 4th. Right there, Robbie Rich in that 48 machine up to 3rd here tonight. Adam Newbert, though, so trying to put it on the 9 machine of Brady LaBeouf. The corner right now, 108 laps into the ButtKicker 200.
Yeah, a bunch of drivers coming down pit road here. Brian Chu cutting out Rollum as a Brady LaBeouf, the leader, just announced over the radio he is pitting this time. So see if he can get a good entry on pit road. Will anyone follow him in? No. Adam Newbert, Robbie Richards stay out another lap. Brady LaBeouf, your leader, coming down pit road. Justin Lumpkin following him in as well. So those are 2 drivers. Kerry Tribute coming in as well. Adam Newbert just announced over the radio he'll be coming down next time by.
As the chips begin to fall, everything gets pushed to the middle of the table. You watch for that last card, the river card, if you will, to fall here on the table. You wait to see if everything will pay off. This is that time, Tyler, the regular season finale, the last pit stop of the regular season. Everything comes down to this moment. Tyler, let's see how it plays out.
Charles Keller getting some airtime, though, right now. He'll lead that lap that time by, so good for the 99 machine getting up front here. Justin White currently 2nd. Those 2 drivers need to pit, as does Jason Morales and Zach Hartwick, who currently sit 3rd and I want to say 6th, or it should be 4th when everything cycles through, respectively. But something interesting has happened. Chris Cinnamon pit on lap 93.
Yes, sir.
As soon as he entered the window, he is currently on track ahead of Brady LaBeouf by about 4.5 seconds. He is on significantly older tires, though, than Brady LaBeouf by about 15, 16 laps. Can Brady LaBeouf run him down? Adam Newbert included. We'll see how Brady LaBeouf and Adam Newbert shake out here as they exit. Robbie Richards gets by Adam Newbert, though, off the pit road.
And right now, we'll see how the leaders shake out here off of pit road with 25 laps to go. Just a quarter to go here tonight. Charles Keller Jr., our race leader in the 99 machine. I got to give it to Charles here, always rocking the best paint schemes out there here tonight. Rocking that throwback Goodrich paint scheme. Looking very colorful as we head down to corner number 1.
Big shakeups in the field. Adam Newbert now dropping behind the likes of Dan Hagan, Justin Lumpkin, Brady LaBeouf, Robbie Richards, and Chris Cinnamon on the drivers who have pit. Lumpkin just set fastest lap that time by 30.65. That means we have a 3-wide battle here for the lead. Chris Cinnamon trying to get back. Cinnamon should inherit the lead now once everyone else has to pit. Kind of Keller's pitted this time by.
Justin White, now our race leader right there, is now Charles Keller heads down pit road. Justin White, our race leader, looks like Chris Cinnamon's going to be the last truck on the lead lap there, Tyler. Didn't mean to jump over there, though. The 2 machine of Justin White. Curious to see him now leading the way. Looks like he didn't pit with those leaders.
But no, Justin White still is yet to come down pit road. Jason Morales still to come down pit road. Zach Hartwick still to come down pit road. First driver to have pit, that'd be Chris Cinnamon. Brady LaBeouf also there. He just got by Robbie Richards, or side-by-side correction with Robbie Richards for position. So they're trying to hunt down Chris Cinnamon. They're going to try to get by. Contact made between Brady LaBeouf and Robbie Richards is through 1 and 2. Almost a sketchy moment there, trying to get by Justin White entering the corner. Almost went horribly wrong there for those two as they try to chase down Chris Cinnamon.
And this is where things get intense right now with 22 laps to go. More intense than watching Chris Angel here in Las Vegas. Things will get magical here as you now see contact between the 9 and the 3 of Chris Cinnamon here down the front stretch. Things could get dicey right now as all the trucks were 3 wide down into corner number 1. Big contact made between the 18 and the 48. We have the 48 into the wall.
Brady LaBeouf keeps it straight. He has some damage. Justin Lumpkin will inherit the lead if he gets by Chris Cinnamon here. Once pit stop cycles are complete, Robbie Richards well off the pace. Adam Newbert got slowed up significantly. He's fallen almost a full second back of this group of leaders that we're going to get by Chris Cinnamon here. And that all stemmed from them stacking up behind Chris Cinnamon on 15-lap older tires. And really the big losers are going to be Brady LaBeouf and Robbie Richards. Brady LaBeouf for the damage he received, and Robbie Richards for losing all that track position, saving the truck.
Yeah, we'll see who shakes out as our race leader after all of this craziness that's now shaking out here. The regular season finale here on the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series Nazareth 360 Racing Network here. My name is William Tiller. This has been Tyler Dittmer here up in the booth with me. Adam Flieger's been giving you the man with all the excellent shots here tonight with 20 laps to go. I think we've all but sealed up who our regular season champion is and who's in those playoff races here tonight. So, Tyler, a lot more fireworks to go with 19 laps to go.
Yeah, that's your current race leader. That's Justin White. He has yet to pit here on this final stage, along with Jason Morales and Zach Hartwick. Currently, Justin White has a 28-second lead over Justin Lumpkin and Brady LaBeouf and Adam Newbert, all 3 trucks under a blanket right now. Kerry Tribune, though, looking to join this group here, so should be a 4-truck little pack here. Of trucks who have come down pit road, but still Justin White, Jason Morales, Zach Hartwick, yet to come down pit road, and I'm not necessarily sure if they have to or not. Meanwhile, though, Brady LaBeouf to the inside of Justin Lumpkin here through 1 and 2 down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Justin White continues to lead this race in that 2 machine. Justin White is going to be a playoff driver next week. Right now here down round 3 and 4. Also have a Jason Morales fan in the chat here tonight, currently second on that scoring grid. Zach Hartwood currently third. Justin Lumpkin, the 18 machine, very strong here tonight, currently fourth. Adam Newbert in that 4, currently fifth. Brady LaBeouf in that 9 with damage though, Tyler, currently 6th. Kerry Tribune in that 7, currently 7th. Dan Hagan that 39, currently 8th. Kyle Hess in that 86 machine, currently 9th. And rounding out our top 10 is that 3 of Chris Cinnamon.
Yeah, Brady LaBeouf has gotten passed by Adam Newbert there that time by. So recycle as Zach Hartwick has just come down pit road. So that leaves 2 drivers out there who have yet to pick up their pit stops, their final stops of the regular season. Justin White, Jason Morales. I wonder if they're trying to make it all the way as we have just 16 laps to go here tonight.
Just 16 laps to go here to close out what has been a very fantastic, exciting, exhilarating, tough, just a dogfight of a regular season. We had Nathan Maurer win 3 races in a row. We had some surprise winners down the stretch as well here in this season, Tyler. But after tonight, it is money race after money race until we crown a champion here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. But right now, Justin White's trying to make it 2 wins this season in that 2 machine.
Yeah, Brady LaBeouf, that damage from that incident with Robbie Richards and Lumpkin is now showing. He has been passed by Kerry Tribute, Adam Newbert, and Justin Lumpkin. So those 3 drivers have gotten by. They're going to go to the inside of some lap trucks here. Brandon Broadfoot, Ron Hunter. Try to get by Nathan Maurer as well as lap down. You see Curtis Rogers here has retired the truck, so he will not be a win-in-your-in driver tonight either. Unfortunately, looks like no one will be a win-in-your-in driver, but still maybe a race to be had between Justin White, Jason Morales, and this group of now 4 trucks trying to chase down those leaders.
Yeah, right now we'll see this lead still heat up at the top of the grid, although everything's signed, sealed, and delivered for next week's playoff race. Still a lot to be had here tonight still in Las Vegas. These drivers know it's always a good race to win. You feel good that you can conquer a track like Vegas, a little bit different than a regular, say, Daytona, Charlotte, Atlanta. Las Vegas always brings its own challenges. But here tonight, Justin White, Brady LaBeouf, though, been the dominating truck. Justin White trying to close out the deal. We watch this battle now between the 4 of Adam Newbert and Justin Lumpkin as we across the line.
Yeah, mark at 13 laps remaining, looking for 12 laps this time by. Obviously, the very old tires of Justin White starting to take hold of his handling ability. Meanwhile, these 4 drivers on fresher tires, Lumpkin, Newbert, Tribute, LaBeouf, still trying to chase down everyone else. Right now making passes on Steve Burnett and Tim Hammond. Hammond back in the wall again. Maybe contact with Hammond. Hammond gets a little squirrely there. We saw him up in the fence, but these drivers all getting it sorted out. Meanwhile, back up front, Justin White, Jason Morales, 11-second gap between those 2. So maybe that race also kind of done. But Justin White could steal the win here tonight, or Jason Morales steal the win here tonight. That'd be big for both their playoff hopes.
Yeah, there's a lot of fire underneath both drivers, especially heading into next week. We talk about light fires, though. There goes Adam Newbert trying to light a fire to the inside of the 18 of Justin Lumpkin down to corner number 3 right now. Adam Newbert, I monikered him the money man here tonight, trying to make it rain. Now up to 3rd on that scoring pylon. The 4 machine on the move with 11 laps to go.
Yeah, that 4 machine is definitely on the move and running quite well here so far. Looking to the inside of his Stick With It Motorsports teammate in the 18 of Justin Lumpkin. These drivers battling out here for that final podium position right now. Barring pit stops for this tonight, Jason Morales has come down pit road. Morales has pit. He will drop now through the grid. Justin White, the lone remaining driver up front.
Justin White, yep, we just now seeing Jason Morales head down pit road in that 5 machine. Good on Jason Morales in that 5. Great season. That 5 machine here tonight. Definitely had a fan in the chat watching him here tonight from Las Vegas. So right now we watch the battle ensue off the corner. Now Jason Morales is coming off pit road. Now down back the backstretch. Now Justin White down pit road. Tyler, my voice is changing because so is the action here on the track. With 9 laps to go, we're going to watch how this battle between the 4 of Adam Newbert and Justin Lumpkin closes out here tonight.
Yep, Justin White will lose all those positions. Meanwhile, we have a great battle for the race win up here front. Adam Newbert, Justin Lumpkin, and Kerry Tribute, the 3-driver breakaway pack. Brady LaBeouf has been left behind by those 3. The battle rages on, though, for these 3 for the win and to sort out those podium spots.
Come on, going for the win right now. Justin Lumpkin in the 18 machine out to the inside of the 4 right now. We're on 3 and 4. This battle for the lead has been raging. We just haven't been watching it because it was a battle for 3 and 4 with a shakeout of those drivers who had in pit. Now it is a battle for the lead down to corner number 1 with 8 laps to go. Justin Lumpkin in the 18 machine trying to, let's call it an upset, though, beat the 4 machine here tonight, who is all but been the money man here with 5 wins and 8 tries in the month of February. The 4 machine now a race leader down to 3.
Yeah, that 4 of Adam Newbert led last lap by 8 thousandths of a second. He's going to try and lead by a little bit more this time. He should get the run off of the corner. Justin Lumpkin looking to his inside. Kerry Tribute trying to figure out who he wants to go with. I think it best serves him to maybe go with Lumpkin instead. Try and leave Newbert out there high and dry. Try to make a move to the inside, shuffle Newbert back. I think he's the strongest truck, so his best chance of winning is to actually hurt Newbert and go with a weaker truck in Justin Lumpkin.
Yeah, Carrot Tribute trying to get his truck into the mix here tonight, up 13 spots on the drop of the green flag. Carrot Tribute trying to show some speed now to the outside of the 18 here off of corner number 4. We're going to make it 6 laps to go here in the regular season here in the ButtKicker 200 here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series as our race leader Adam Newbert in the Ford machine takes us into 1. If you've been liking what you've been watching here tonight on the NASRA 360 Racing Network, we invite you to go check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Go like, share, follow all those good things, and make sure you stay up to date with that playoff race that will ensue next week here, Tyler. And we'll have races almost every night of the week, as well as that Wednesday night podcast.
Yep, Wednesday night podcast as well. Triple M Point Truck Series on Friday night. Over the Top Design Xfinity Series. Looking to start up a Cup Series on Sunday nights here soon. We are broadcasting races for that already, so definitely something you guys should keep your eyes out for. But we continue racing here. We got Adam Newbert, Carry Tribute here, rounding it out for the win here. We have less than 5 to go. Should be 4 to go this time by. Looks to be down to these 2 trucks for the win here in the ButtKicker 200 at Las Vegas.
Yeah, Adam Newbert right now takes us across the line, makes it 4 laps to go, down to corner number 1. Carriage View in that 7 could be in contention for one of the biggest movers of the race. Going to have some other nominees, though, inside the top 10. Right now, Carriage View doesn't care about that. If he takes a checkered flag, that's all he wants to do. Here, down the backstretch, down the corner number 3. Right now, Adam Newbert, so our race leader.
Yeah, Adam Newbert running that bottom lane in 3 and 4. Carry Tribute running a little bit higher, trying to see if he can get a bigger run. He didn't have a great run through 1 and 2 that time by. Lost quite a bit of ground, trying to refocus here. You can't really run the bottom in 1 and 2. I think you have to run the middle to higher lane here. Should see him go back to that lane here, but he's going to follow right in Newbert's tracks. It's not going to get him enough of a turning ability throughout the corner. Call it about 3 truck lengths here off of 2.
Yeah. Newbert takes us down to 3 there, Tyler, and with 3 laps to go, just to mention to the rest of the field, Adam Newbert's lap times have gotten significantly better, laying down his fastest lap times of the race now in this closing stages of this race with 2 laps to go. Adam Newbert's going to take us down to corner number 1. We call him the money man for a reason. The Ford machine trying to put some more money into his pocket, though. Carry Tribute in the 7, though. He said, don't close out the show just yet with a huge run down to 1.
Yeah, but I think it's too little too late. Adam Newbert with just 1.5 laps to go. So hard to pass here at Vegas, and Adam Newbert is the man, I think, with the plan. I picked him to win tonight, and right now that prediction is looking very good as he comes off of 4, takes the white flag here, final lap in the ButtKicker 200.
Final lap of the ButtKicker 200. Final lap of the regular season of the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series here in the NASRA 360 Racing Network. What a regular season it has been. Here as Adam Newbert in the 4 machine takes us off of 2. Will not be the regular season champion. That will go to Nathan Maurer in the 971, who but had a great regular season. But here tonight, Adam Newbert, the man who has lit the month of February on fire, wins here tonight in the ButtKicker 200 in Las Vegas.
Yeah, Adam Newbert has just figured something out here in the month of February, has just dominated almost every race he's been in, and just figures it out week in, week out. He's looking to maybe continue his streaks throughout here. He's just getting hot exactly at the right time as we enter the playoffs, as we look forward to how the first season of the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series will play out.
And I got to say, for that 4 machine, I looked at the lap time just before we completed this race here tonight, Las Vegas. Adam Newbert not only wins the race here tonight, Tyler, but also has the fastest lap time of the entire field at a 30.60. The fastest lap time of the entire field here tonight. So definitely the fastest truck, not only at the end, but the entire race. Another W in that win column for the 4.
Yeah, Adam Newbert just doing everything right here. Not just tonight, but recently across the NASRA racing family of series, and just cannot be. Adam Newbert figuring out how to get it done as he burns it down here at Las Vegas for the second time in 2 weeks.
I mean, we're getting to know Adam Newbert pretty well here, Tyler. I think we've all had experience in other leagues calling other races where a driver goes on a hot streak during the season and maybe can't close out the deal in the championship runs. And you know, here at Nazareth, we have different leagues, different weeks of the night. Adam Newbert has quietly just dominated each league, each night. Doesn't matter track, car, setup. Adam Newbert here has now won 6 of the last 9 races he has competed in. What a run it has been for that Ford machine and Adam Newbert.
Yeah, Adam Newbert is just a man on a mission, figuring everything out when he needs to and getting the job done. So look throughout the final results here tonight. Your race winner, Adam Newbert, Kerry Tribune, finished second. We'll talk with him as well in post-race interviews. Adam Newbert's teammate, Justin Lumpkin, that 18 Stick With It Motorsports entry. He'll finish third. Brady LaBeouf, your pole sitter, won the first 2 stages. And just like what happened in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series, the guy who wins the first 2 stages does not win the race. He'll finish 4th. Kyle Hess will finish 5th. Brian Chu, 6th. Raul Meza, 7th. Charles Keller Jr., 8th. Cody Knott, 9th. And Dan Hagan will round out your top 10.
Good run out of Raul Meza, finishing 7th here tonight. But in the 11th position, we look at Brandon Bullock in that 17 machine. One of those drivers that could win and get in here tonight will not get the job done. Good regular season out of the 17, will not be a playoff driver next week. In the 12th position, we have the 93, Jason Stevenson. Good run, up 6 spots from the drop of the green flag. Again, another driver that will miss out on the playoff races next week. Chris Cinnamon with that late damage on the 3 machine will finish 13th. Justin White again with late damage on that 2 will finish 14th. Chris Blanchard in the 14 machine will finish 15th. Robbie Rich in the 48 machine. Probably hope for a better run here. Tonight will finish 16th. Jason Morales in that 5 will finish 17th. Zach Hardwick in that 6 will finish 18th. Steve Barnett in that 42. We saw that early incident that 42 had. Finished 19th. Here tonight in the 20th position, rounding out our top 20 with a disappointing end to what was a promising run. Tim Hinman in that 69.
Yeah, I looked at the field, Curtis Rogers, Nathan Maurer, and the guy I want to talk to right now, Brandon Broadfoot. I can say with full confidence that you, sir, are locked into the playoffs next week as we go to Richmond Raceway.
Oh, man, I don't even know what to say. Kind of nervous right now. Not the way I wanted to get in, but congratulations to, first and foremost, congrats to Adam for winning another race. That guy's on fire right now. Second, I want to say thank you to Brady for putting this thing together, man. Hardworking guy. But at the end of the night tonight, it was just a battle of 2 drivers to see who will last 2, and I was able to get out there and run some laps and make it stick and work. And here I am in the playoffs.
Yeah, Brandon, and Will and I were talking throughout, and I believe it was about 40 laps ago, we realized that you had locked yourself in, barring a surprise win from Brandon Bullock or any of those other drivers. Obviously, you were looking forward to it throughout the season. Making those playoffs, you put a big priority on it. Well, I can say you are in the playoffs. We want to say congrats to you. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank that makes it happen for you this year?
Yeah, it wouldn't have been possible without my owner, 979 Dottie Lyons. Thank you for giving me this position to be on the team. Now we can go and race for a championship. And lastly, I want to thank my girlfriend for allowing me to do this. She's not big of a NASCAR fan, but she was rooting for me tonight. So I want to thank you guys for doing what you guys do. And we'll celebrate this, and tomorrow we'll get started on Richmond.
Well, again, congrats on making it to the playoffs as the last driver into the field. And again, I wish you the best of luck next week at Richmond.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, have a good night.
That was Brandon Broadfoot, the final driver to make the playoffs, but standing by with our third place finisher as we now move on to the podium interviews. That'll be Justin Lumpkin with our broadcast buddy, Will Tiller.
Yes, sir. And what's been, I would say, probably a pretty good month for the 18 machine of Justin Lumpkin. Been pretty strong here across the board in Azra. Justin, you finished 3rd here tonight in what was a pretty clean race all night long. A couple strategies played out. You were in the mix, I'd say, all night inside the top 3. Take us through your race here tonight.
Man, it's Vegas. I love Vegas. I've always been fast here. Uh, I can't figure out Brady. Brady, no matter what's always fast. But yeah, we had a good truck. I was just trying to battle Brady, Adam, Robbie, all them guys. And first two stages, I was like, I'm just going for it. We're gonna burn them up and see what happens. Which pull out ahead of third and fourth, pretty good. But and then whenever the third stage came along, I was gonna take it a little bit easier. But now, man, I gotta apologize to Brute Force Motorsports. I drifted up into Tim Hammond, got him, and it took out Nathan and Justin White at the same time. I want to apologize to them guys for that. I can't stand when I make a mistake, but just want to make sure they know I want to apologize for that.
Yeah, of course. And what was a pretty crazy race. I think everybody was racing for the same thing here tonight. Justin, that 18 machine. You know, we always talked about here all season long about how that last stretch of the race really shakes up things. And we're talking about that last bit. After the stage racing's over, that's when the real racing begins, in my opinion. Justin, what did you feel like after the pit strategy was, out of the way there in the green flag run? Did you feel like you could have had a chance? Once you heard news of the 9 having issues, did you feel like you could creep up there and get this checkered flag?
Yeah, I thought we were pretty good, but I knew I was running hard to keep up with Brady there after we come out of the pits. And then I don't know what happened with Robbie. I don't know if he come across my nose or what, but then that happened. And then I knew Adam and Kerry, they were taking care of their stuff a little bit better than we were. So I knew I'd have to run a little bit harder, try to keep them behind me, but tires just didn't hold up. And them guys ran a great race.
Now, you just talked about it there, apologizing to the 69 Tim Hammond at Brute Force Motorsports. Justin, you look forward to next week, though. You're going to be locked into those playoff races with the 69 Tim Hammond. What was tonight's race? What was the meaning of tonight's race? Was it a race that you could maybe improve, get a race victory, or was it a race you can kind of lean back knowing that you were locked into next week's playoffs?
Actually, I don't know if I'm locked in the next week's playoffs. I've had to miss a few.
Maybe
races.
not then.
Yeah, I mean, every week I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna run hard. It's just I ran it in there. I just drifted. Usually, I tried to let off at the last second, and I was already there at his front left quarter panel, and ended up getting his momentum towards the wall.
Well, Justin, if this is the last, I'd say, points run of your season, what were your thoughts about the 18's run here this regular season?
Man, it was up and down. We were fast all season. Just had a lot of bad luck getting caught up in crashes. But yeah, I mean, it was a great first season for the series, and just congratulations to all the guys that made the playoffs, and for Adam and Brian that made it and go get it for Sick-Witted Motorsports.
Yes, sir, indeed. A lot of competitors going to be in those playoff races next week. But here tonight, Justin, you're going to finish third. With that podium finish, we'd love to give you those drivers the opportunity to shout out anybody you had watching here tonight and any sponsors that made this race possible.
Darren's Nail Gun Repair, A's Lawn and Landscaping, Millie's Restaurant and Catering, Ladanco. There's a bunch of team sponsors: Family Handyman, Roofco Group, the Spatulas, First Pacific Funding. And then Nazar 360 Racing Network here, you guys do a great job. And also I got to give a thank you to my friends and family out there watching.
Alrighty, Justin, we appreciate you taking the time with us here, my man. The 18 machine is going to roll off third here tonight, going to take the podium in the regular season finale here tonight at Vegas. We'll see you next week. Justin, continue that hot streak you've been on here lately. Hopefully we'll see that 18 in victory lane. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir. And that was the 18 machine of Justin Lumpkin there, Tyler, but I believe you might be catching up with the second place position of Kerry Tribute.
Yep, Tyler Dimmer here with Kerry Tribute. Second place finish. Kerry, you were fourth in the points coming into the night. Kind of the picture of consistency throughout the season. Didn't get a win in the regular season, but you're coming into the playoffs pretty comfortably. How do you think the run tonight sets you up for a deep run into the playoffs?
Well, Adam, I think we're pretty well off for the playoffs. I think we can compete with the top guys. just got to be luck. I mean, I avoided a couple wrecks there and did not have a good qualifying, so I need to kind of get back up in the front in the qualifying and not have to really work my through everybody just to get up there because I usually burn my stuff out by the time I can even compete with these guys.
Yeah, you mentioned maybe not getting the qualifying results you wanted. You were I believe, the third or fourth biggest mover tonight, up 14 spots from the drop of the green flag, finishing second. May have had something for Adam Newbert there. Is there anything you could have done to maybe get by him for the race win?
At that point, I probably burned up my stuff trying to get around Justin. He battled me pretty hard for a few laps, and then I felt like I was gaining a little bit on Adam, but I mean, every time he took air off my nose, and there was nothing I could do. I was just stalling out.
Yeah, well, obviously being one of the best points finishers this season, looking forward to the first round of the playoffs includes tracks like Richmond, Atlanta Super Speedway, now that I call it that way, and then Auto Club, the 2-mile D configuration. Is there a track there that you think suits your driving style the best and where you may be able to steal a win and get locked into the round of 12?
I do like all three of those tracks. Obviously, and Atlanta's gonna be a wild card with anybody can win that one. California is pretty good. That's my home track. I feel like I'm good there, but I feel like anybody can win any of these races. So it's just gonna come down with a lot of luck and just trying my hardest to get there. But I do like Richmond too. I like the flow of that track.
Well, as we look forward towards the playoffs, we wish you the best of luck. Again, congrats on the second place finish. And before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank that makes it happen for you this year?
Yes, first and foremost, like to thank my wife for letting me compete with you guys. I'd like to thank everybody at A&G Compressor Parts. We work our tails off there, and that's my main sponsor. I'd like to thank Hunter Motorsports, Performance Motorsports, Ron, Steve, and Charles. These guys do their best to help out every week, and we try to be as fast as we can, compete with everybody. So, and that's basically about it.
Well, again, thank you for spending your time with us tonight, talking with us, and we wish you the best of luck. And again, congrats on the second place finish.
Thank you, and thank you for Brady for putting this league together.
That was your second place finisher, Kerry Tribute, tonight in that number 7 machine. Having probably one of the best races he's had all year long, Will. But now you're standing by with our hot man in NASRA, Adam Newbert, your race winner tonight in Las Vegas, his second race win at Vegas in 2 weeks. Will, you're standing by with the winner.
Ooh. Oh my goodness, when the month of January ended, we were sipping on Busch Light and Victory Lane. Now we're sitting on Don Perignon here, the Las Vegas Strip, the money man himself. Adam Newbert, my man, you have now made it 6 out of 9 NASRA events wins here tonight. Adam, how'd you get it done again?
I don't know, man. A little bit of luck again. I guess I can get used to that nickname, the Money Man, but it is just a little bit of luck again because I about kicked myself in the foot on pit road, sliding through my pit box. And then I guess for the third straight race, Robbie Richards helps me out. I mean, what can I say? Robbie's like my number one fan, I guess. He pretty much just, I don't know. They had a little incident right there going into one. Luckily, we got around it pretty quickly. It pretty much damaged the strongest truck of the night, and that's Brady. Brady had the best truck. Brady was in a league on his own. All of us got up there and tried to battle with him on the long run, tried to battle with him the whole run. It's like, we just had nothing for Brady. He is definitely, this is his favorite track, and he loves it here, and he's really strong here, and we just hung around. I mean, that's really it.
That's essentially what I was going to ask you there. You sort of just hung around there, and, really things started to shake out there, those last pit stops there, that pit strategy. What was it like coming off of pit road there? Not a lot of cautions here tonight. I can't even remember one on the racetrack here, maybe one or two we had here tonight. Those last pit stops, we talk about how your hot streak's been going here in NASRA. How important is it those green flag pit stops and that last bit of racing we'll have always in these formats?
The green flag pit stops are huge. Minimizing mistakes on those is even bigger, and I made a little mistake. I slipped in my pit stall, made a little mistake, but only lost a little bit of time. You're right, there wasn't really a whole lot of cautions, just a caution in the first stage. I felt like we were one of the top 3 trucks, probably third best truck. I felt like Brady was probably the best, Justin Lumpkin was probably the second best, and I was probably right there behind him. But yeah, a little bit of luck again tonight, and I can't believe it. I hope I don't know when this little winning streak's going to end, but I hope it carries on to these playoffs right here because this team's ready to go fight for a championship.
And now, Adam, I was going to ask you that here. I guess we're running out of questions to ask you about here on this streak. I get to talk to you almost every day of the week now here in the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Adam, when did you know in this race that the race was, let's just say, starting to come to you, if you will, that maybe you had a chance, that maybe with everything starting to play out, that if you could get that 4 to the top of the grid, you would be in victory lane again?
I felt like if we would have hung with Brady, if things wouldn't have gone the way they did and we would have hung with Brady on this final run, I felt like if we'd have just stayed with him, we would have had a chance. He probably would have beat us anyway. But when the contact going into one with Robbie and Brady, when all that happened, I knew it was probably our best shot to go and win that race because I knew we had pitted a lap or two after Lumpkin did and a little bit after Kerry Tribute did. And, Lumpkin is my teammate, so I'm really proud of Stick With It Motorsports, by the way. We got a first and a third tonight, and then another driver in sixth. So I'm really proud of this team and how strong these drivers have been recently. But I knew Justin would race me clean. I mean, we're going to race each other clean. We're teammates. We're still going to race hard for the win, but we're going to race clean. And I just knew that, as long as I could race him and not burn my tires up too much out there, just eventually get around him, and I did, that, it would work out. We pretty much ended up holding on and winning this thing.
Yeah, Adam, you just touched on it a second ago there. You're racing for championships. My colleague in other nights of the week here, Wesley Allen, said he needs a bounty on you here in these races. That's the thing I want to touch on here. How do you go into the playoff races here in this series, here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, and stay focused on this series, whereas in other races you have the same streak going on? How do you get everything just focused on this series to win a championship?
Just doing what we do every week, I guess. Showing up, running great in the stages, finishing top 5 in the stages, top 3 in the stages, getting the stage points, and being right at the end, not kicking ourselves in the foot. I don't think. I think everybody else is worried, not me. I don't think I'm very worried coming these playoffs. I think everybody else has got something to worry about.
There we go. That's a mic drop out of Adam Newber in the 4 machine. We got to let you get the floor for just a little bit here. You won't win the regular season championship, but definitely be the hottest driver going into those playoff races next week. We usually ask a driver what do they think about their chances next week, but Adam, I know what you think about your chances are. You're putting that 4 in victory lane. No need to even waste time with that question and answer. But Adam, is there anybody you'd like to shout out here tonight? Any sponsors that put you in victory lane here once again?
First things first, I'll shout out Stick With It Motorsports, Jeff Sickles, the team owner, my teammates, Justin Lumpkin, Brian Chu, Stephen Thomas tonight, Jeff Sickles on Friday night, Blake Lothian on Friday night as well. All of our sponsors, Ladan Co., my primary sponsor, Millie's Landing, Azlon and Landscaping, Darren's Nail Gun Repair, First Pacific Funding, Roofco Group, The Spatulas, Family Handyman, Miller's Restaurant and Catering, and Millie's North. And I guess I got to give Robbie Richards a shout out. He's my number 1 fan and sponsor. And I'll have to give my girlfriend watching and my mom and dad, they're watching tonight. So I have to give them all a shout out and all my friends watching.
And also, Adam, you might want to shout out either Cash App or PayPal, whichever one you use to get paid, because you have been getting paid. The money man himself, Adam Newbert, the number 4 machine, wins again here tonight. Big congratulations from us here at the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Can't wait to see what that 4 has in store for those playoff races next week. Adam Newbert, we appreciate you taking the time. Once again, our champion here in Las Vegas. Tyler, that was our champion here tonight of the race, that is, Adam Newbert in that 4 machine. But I believe you might be now joined by our regular season champion, Nathan Mara, the 971.
Yes, I am with your regular season champion, SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, Nathan Maurer, that 971 machine. 3 wins on the season. They came back to back, sitting around the turn of the year from 2022 to 2023, getting the job done after a little bit of a scare maybe for the points battle with Justin White a few weeks ago. But Nathan, you are our regular season champion. How does that feel?
It feels great, but we need to definitely pick up the pace here and have luck change a little bit. Got last week, I felt like I should have had that win, but teammate self-spun and gave up my 3-second lead. And tonight, just I wasn't going to win tonight, but yeah. So I just raced. I pretty much just raced Justin White here. Justin White tonight, just so try to keep up with him. I know he's pretty good here at Las Vegas.
Yeah, you mentioned that you need your luck to start turning, Nathan. Obviously, not having to finish tonight and not being a victory lane for about a month, maybe a month and a half now. As you come into the postseason, are you trying to get maybe that mojo back a little bit, starting with Richmond next week?
Oh yeah, Richmond's definitely a strong track, but I mean, I'm going to play it. I'll be playing it safe here through the other rounds. Maybe not necessarily going for wins. It's got to be there in the end down race and final four there. So have to be somewhat aggressive, but not too aggressive. We're ourselves out or get other people.
And obviously, that comes with having all the playoff points you've collected from being the regular season champion and with your 3 wins. That definitely seems to have, I would say, shifted your mindset entering these playoff rounds, at least in the early few rounds.
Oh, definitely.
Well, Nathan, obviously, some big announcements were made tonight in the pre-race regarding some silly season news. Obviously, I would expect you to be back with Brute Force Motorsports next year, barring any major changes you'd like to inform us about.
No, I'm not really in charge. I just come to race. I just do this 2 nights a week to have fun. I guess Robbie wants me to come back. I think we're gonna try getting Justin. Over with us next season. So we'll have to see what happens.
Well, obviously, being the talent that you are, we're looking forward to a impressive playoff run. But obviously, you being our regular season champion, we'd like to give you this opportunity to shout out anyone who gets it done for you this year before we let you go.
I got special thanks to my sponsor, Redneck Nation. Bobby Nicolicki over there is a great guy. Sent him a message at the beginning of the season, asked if he wants to sponsor me. So he's been a big help, helping pay for some things. And shout out to all my teammates. Big shout out to Kerry Tribou. Me and him got into it. I think it was the first race of the season. I'm like, what kind of guy is this? But we just had a nice little 5-minute chat with each other. He finally he apologized before, but he finally verbally apologized to me for us getting into it. First race of the season. So big shout out to him for manning up and coming and talking to me. So best luck to him. Best luck to everybody else in the playoffs. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting the whole season, and thanks to Brady for running the show.
Well, we look forward to seeing how you do next week in Richmond and throughout the playoffs. Again, wish you the best of luck and congratulating you again on winning our regular season title here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Wishing you the best of the night.
Thank you, guys. Have a good weekend. Have a good week.
All good. I get it confused sometimes, too.
Yes, sir.
And, well, Will, putting a bow on the regular season here, ending at Las Vegas. Just a fabulous season so far. And now we have 7 weeks of racing in the postseason. I couldn't ask for anything more, could you?
No, I couldn't ask for any more here. And I wonder if we can get a schedule up on the screen here, the NASRA 360 Racing Network, of what those playoff races look like here coming up. We'll look right now. Oh, what an excellent graphic here provided by Adam Flieger. We look at those next 3 races here, Tyler. We look at Richmond, Atlanta, and Auto Club, which I'm starting to fall in love with, but now it's a little late to fall in love with that racetrack there, Tyler, as it's going to be no more here. But that's a good little stretch of different courses that are going to give drivers different fits. I'd say if you stay in the middle of the pack, top 15, you're going to survive possibly those first 3 races. And then the cutoff line, Tyler, the Fast 12, if you will, Watkins Glen, and then Charlotte, which is a track that everybody knows, but you have to survive the Glen there right before Charlotte. What a playoff schedule we're looking at.
Yeah, and the wild card race being, you hinted at it, Atlanta now being a super speedway track, and then Watkins Glen being the wild card of the round of 12, and then the Elite 8 wild card being Talladega. So each round has its wild card race, and then it has its kind of intermediate. You expect the certain guys to be up front, like Nashville Super Speedway, Charlotte, and even really Auto Club, in my opinion, kind of races more like an intermediate where tire saving matters. So looking forward to seeing what these drivers put on in the next 8 weeks throughout the regular season. But at this point in time, we have to get the show packed up and moved over across to Richmond Raceway, starting the virtual Las Vegas, Nevada. Now we got to get all the way over to Richmond, Virginia for next Monday night's events. Will, again, pleasure as always in finishing our first regular season together here in the booth tonight. That's Will Tiller. My name's Tyler Dittmer. Wishing you all a good night in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Your race winner tonight, Adam Newbert, and your regular season champion, Nathan Maurer.